Talking true crime with MJ. Cases on the screen, yeah, we mainstay. Breaking down facts, every frame way. City in a voice, every word blade. They throw dirt, plot in a group chat, smile in her face. Same ones who do that. Think she soft cause she cute, let them think that. Till they see how she moved and they fall back. Men locked and can't miss one show. Refresh page when the upload go. Women watch too, trying to study her glow. Some take notes, other ones throw stones. Combos with MJ, tap and stay live. Hit like hit share, yeah, help her rise. They hate, they plot, but she built from fire. Click sub on a page if you feel that vibe. Hey. Combos with MJ, true cut like steel. Stream run deep, cause the pain's so real. They talk, but they can't break will. So like and subscribe if you know that feel. You count climb, that's the proof right there. Can't dim shine when the grind is rare. Self-made queen in a swivel back chair. Whole new world in a ring light glare. She stack funds, every post, every ad. Turning dark stories to a big brown bag. Knows the law, knows rights, never move sad. If you cross lines, then it's up, that's bad. Men obsessed, blowing up her DMs. I love you, marry me, she just skims. Women envy, wanna walk in her Timbs, but she stay or never trade for them. Combos with MJ, tap and stay live. Hit like hit share, yeah, help her rise. They hate, they plot, but she built from fire. Click sub on a page if you feel that vibe. Combos with MJ, true cut like steel. Stream run deep, cause the pain's so real. They talk, but they can't break will. So like and subscribe if you know that feel. All that gossip, all that noise. Can't shake poise, can't steal voice. Can't stay clean, mind stay sharp. Heart stay strong in the deepest dark. Convos with MJ, tap and stay live. Hit like hit share, yeah, help her rise. They hate, they plot, but she built from fire. Click sub on a page if you feel that vibe. Convos with MJ, true cut like steel. Stream run deep, cause the pain's so real. They talk, but they can't break will. So like and subscribe, let the fam all build.
All right, I'm back. Hopefully everything is working now. I apologize, guys. I'm using this beta system where I can have the portrait and the landscape going at the same time. Obviously, there is some trouble going on here where the live stream is cutting off. So I might have to go back to just going vertical or portrait. It is what it is. But I just wanted to let you know what was going on, and hopefully everything is going well right now. And shout out to Miss J. I appreciate you, mommy. Hola, hola, que lo que. Shout out to you. She said, let's talk about it. Message, happy Sunday. Let's go. 200,000 subs. Yes, we are verging and hitting towards the 200,000 sub account soon. I think I might be able to make it by April or even the beginning of April, which it would be great if I could. But I just want to appreciate everyone who has been subbing and watching and sharing everything out. Truly appreciate you. This is what makes the channel grow. This is what, makes doing this worthwhile and having fun with you good folks. So without any ado, let's get back to the interrogation of Michael Dixon. Again, for everybody just coming back in, this is interrogation. His friend Jim went missing. He was the last person to be around him or knew about his whereabouts. So we're going to watch their interrogation, okay? All right. Hurricane Max says L. I guess L means loser. I don't know. Well, shout out to you. Happy Sunday. All right, let's go on. All right, I hope you guys can see my screen. And there shouldn't be no problems now, but let's go.
Okay, listen to me. I want to help you. But if you're not honest with me, when I walk out that door, I can't help. But we need to know what happened to Jim. Can you give me something of what happened that particular day?
This is Michael Dixon. Michael is being interrogated by the Hocking County Sheriff's Office regarding the disappearance of a friend named James Whitaker. After James had been missing for several days, friends and family would call the police and inform them that he was missing.
Because he was good to you.
Yeah.
And you were good to him. But something happened that particular day that you got upset. And it's okay. People do get upset. So you give me something that I can work with. And I can help you. I can talk to the prosecutors. We can get closure. Mike, I'm not lying to you, buddy. I can help you. Listen.
Hey, Miss J, no problem.
I can help you. But you have to help me. Okay? Where can I find Jim?
Hey, Turkey, darling. It's good to see you. Happy Sunday.
Where can I find him? Mike, it's okay. Where's Jim? You help me? I can talk to the prosecutor.
Michael and his daughter Melody had been staying with James for several years without paying any rent at all. James's family knew that they lived there as well, so when they told Michael they were going to call the police, he and his daughter fled the home. The police would begin their search and eventually they would catch up with Michael. Michael would be arrested and brought in for interrogation.
You believe in God, right?
Mm-hmm.
You believe in forgiveness?
Yeah.
God will forgive. All you have to do is repent your sins. I can help you do that.
Ooh, shout out to a
But
day
you
off.
have to help find Jim. Where can I find him?
Right. I don't know.
Mike, listen, let me come over here to you. Come here.
You're not late, Turkey. We just started.
Listen, turn around here. Man to man.
Hey, Sebastian, yeah, we got back. We came back.
Mike, I know you know what happened to Jim. I know. Okay? You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Help me. And I help you. It's simple. I will not let you go through this alone. Okay? I promise. You know I've been doing this for a long time. Some people say I'm a dick. I'm human. You're human. Jim is human. Let's give him a proper burial. Let's treat him like a human. He was really good to you. Wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was good.
All right, so far it's very dry, but nonetheless, I wanted to go over interrogations as well. As you can see, Michael is not trying to give up that information. In fact, he's really not trying to talk to the detective. And we always say don't talk to them, right? So I would agree, like, the first thing you should do if you don't want to talk to no one, just say, I want to speak to a lawyer. I'm going to end it right now. That's it. But the simple fact that they fled the scene and they caught him and they know that he used to live with Jim, him and his daughter, and Jim's been missing. They don't know where he is. He's the last one who would know where they are. And even within that kind of make you kind of guilty too, because you flee the scene. The fact is that you and your daughter was mooching off of Jim. For years, he allowed you to not pay rent, probably just keep your space clean. And that's about it. Something happened, probably, egos or head button, you thinking that you have some say so, forgetting that you was living rent free in somebody's home, and then a altercation happened where you disposed of Jim's body somewhere. So as of right now, the detective sees that he does seem a little bit remorseful. He do have the guilt look on his face. So he's going at him not in an aggressive approach. He's going at him as more of a friend approach, or hey, listen, we all make mistakes, let's do right for Jim. I can help you. Remember I said the certain words that they use and phrases that they use, they will make you believe that they're really there to help you, but they're not. They need you to help them. They need you to help them with the amount of evidence that they have to seal the deal. Or if they don't have that much evidence, you can clear that up for them. So this is what they want out of this situation. And it just so happens that, using the aggressive approach with Michael wouldn't work. He would have went more inward, and he wouldn't even be able to get like a nod or a yes out of him. So now he's using the soft mode. But we'll go on. Let's go on. Let's see.
Let's give it back to him. Now's your chance. Because you didn't mean what happened. What happened to Jim, it didn't need to happen.
Michael sits in his chair, arms folded across his chest, barely saying anything, which is usually a sign of guilt. As we've discussed before, an innocent person would be angry and demand to know why they are being accused of such a crime. The detective has been using a sympathetic approach as he tries to get a confession out of James. This approach seems to be working, but now he switches to the tried and true method where he asks the suspect if it was just an accident.
It was an accident? Was it an accident?
Yeah.
It was? Okay. So what happened then? In your own words, tell me what happened.
So that tactic was brilliant, the way how he was able to switch to giving the suspect an opportunity to take the bait of whatever narrative that they feel would help them, or it will seem more plausible. As soon as he said, was it an accident? Michael said, yep. And what did his body language tell you though? His body language said, yep. That means he's lying. But you gave him an avenue for him to take. You gave him an avenue to make it seem that this is something that you will believe while you're having a conversation with him. So he was like, yeah. And the funny thing is that the detective, he knows that. That was the reason why he threw it out there. The first time they throw out this little bait, whatever not, of a scenario where it was a self-defense. Was it an accident? Was somebody else involved? That's when they know. If you reach for that, if you reach for what that fish, they know that you're clinging to something because you have involvement. There's something else going on, or you need somehow to save yourself. So the detective, he's peeping game, even though he's still acting very calm and soothing. And that's the ego up approach, to soothe someone's ego, make them feel like, hey, you're not a bad guy. People make bad mistakes. Bad things happen, and you're like, yeah, I'm not a bad person. Yeah, this could have happened to anyone. Or eventually they'll start to say it's the victim's fault. The victim made me do it. That's usually how it goes. Turkey said, giving him an out and he's falling for it. Yes, exactly, Turkey, exactly. But too many commercial. I'm sorry, Miss J. I'm sorry, Miss J. He do not care. Yeah, he doesn't care. He's willing to lie at this point. Yep. And you talk about the TV situation. Shout out to the people who's watching it on TV. Let's go on.
Yes, it was an accident. Did he fall and hit his head? Did a gun go off? Did a knife, accidentally stab him in an argument?
His gun went off.
His gun went off? Okay. So, how did it go off?
Me and him was struggling over because my daughter was trying to go to the well, she went to the bathroom and then he was trying to grab her.
Okay. So this happened in the house? Where did it happen at?
Kitchen.
In the kitchen? Okay. So, where is Jim right now? It's okay. Give me your hand. Give me your hand. It's okay. It's all right. I know you feel bad. Was the gun in your hand?
I grabbed a hold of it, but he was pointing it at me.
Okay, that's okay. Was it a shotgun? Where's Jim now?
I'm by the burn pile.
By the burn pile? What day did this happen? Was it July 5th?
I think like early in the morning, the 6th, like 5:30, 6.
In the morning? Okay. What was the argument over?
We was coming in so late and he just come out and he was in a bad mood.
Now that they have his confession, they have to get Michael to explain what had happened in detail to ensure a guilty verdict.
Okay. Now let's pretend. All right. Let's pretend. This is the shotgun. Let's stand up. It's all right. Okay. God forgives. Okay. You believe in God, right? Okay. It's okay. So if this is a shotgun, who has the shotgun?
You.
How do I have the shotgun? If I'm Jim.
Pretty much about like this, or like here's the gun like this, and I take it and I grab it and I put it up like that, and it goes off.
Okay.
Over this way.
It was it go off over here. Okay. Let me. So, what did he have the shotgun for?
So every now and then when you get mad, that's when he can get the gun or a knife.
So he grabbed the shotgun.
But he had it kind of like holding to like here.
Like this was the butt of it?
But yeah, right here he grabbed like where the trigger piece is made, and then you've got right here, and then you've got your stock.
Okay. And the barrel was pointed this way.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're Jim and I'm right here, where was the gun?
Well, he had it.
Okay, he had it.
Like about like this right here. Right here was the. Oh.
What was he saying to you? Very important. What was he saying to you?
He told me that he was going to shoot me.
Okay. What was he going to shoot you for? Okay. So we're going to show you this gun is unloaded. Clear. Yep, it's very clear. Okay, it's clear. All right, nothing in it. All right, I want you to hold. I'm going to hold the gun. Okay. So if I have it, is he like this?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. And then what happened? Go ahead. You can grab it. It's fine.
Hold it and went like that.
Okay. And it went off on this side of his face?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did he die instantly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
It is very important that they get as many details as possible from Michael so they can compare those details with the crime scene. For example, if James's body does not have a gunshot wound to the upper left side of his head, then they know Michael is lying.
where is the bathtub in relation to us?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he should really just tell the truth because he's already reacting what happened when the incident occurred. And to me, it doesn't even seem like it's plausible that it just accidentally went off, especially for the simple fact is that if you was able to grab hold of the gun and pretty much get it out of Jim's hand, then if he got shot anywhere, in the face or something like that, I think that was really deliberate. I don't really necessarily seeing you just being able to push it upward and he still had his finger on the trigger, and it wasn't you who necessarily pulled the trigger. It was Jim himself. Like, I'm not really buying it. I'm not really buying it at all. I'm not. And then on top of that, you have to think about it. One, if Jim wanted you out his house, you were supposed to leave out his house. Now, I know you've been staying there for a couple of years. Yeah, you can come back with the police and say, hey, listen, I have Mel coming here, so he can't necessarily throw me out. It has to go through the courts. And you can do that depending on what state you live in, right? There is a process of evicting people. But the fact is that all of this supposed to have happened in the kitchen. And then on top of it, he supposedly he harmed or hit your daughter, that's what sparked the whole situation. She ends up leaving, and then he has the gun and he just comes to you in the kitchen and says, get out your house. Like, I'm trying to put his whole story together about how this actually transpired, but it doesn't really seem that way. It seemed like maybe they was trying to jump him and gang up on him. Then he went and got his gun. Y'all was able to remove the gun from him and you just shot him. That's what it looks like. You just shot him and then you went and decided to dispose his his body somewhere. That's what it all looks like to me. Truly. That's what it looks like. But we don't know. We don't know. Let's see. Sebastian said, what do you think? Involuntary manslaughter? I'm thinking more second degree murder. I don't think that it was planned. I just think that something happened and he ended up unaliving Jim and then disposing of the body. So if anything, I do say second degree murder, and I also think that he will get time for moving the body or dismantling the body if there is a body to be found, because that's what they're really trying to find out right now. Turkey Sandwich said, this is sus as hell. Yeah. Turkey said, no way, dude, going to let him grab control of the gun and point it at his own face. Right, exactly. But let's go on.
You said it happened in the bathroom, correct?
Kitchen.
The kitchen. Okay. So his finger was on the trigger? Okay. And he said he was going to kill you. What did he say he was going to kill you for?
He didn't say. He told my mom he called her earlier that night. Said that as soon as I walked in, he was going to shoot me.
Okay. So, I'm very proud of you, Mike, for telling what really happened, so we can give Jim a proper burial. Okay. Does that make you feel any better? Okay. So, who helped clean up the kitchen?
I did it by myself.
Okay. How long did it take you to clean up the kitchen?
Took about an hour.
Okay. Was it all over the ceiling?
Mm-hmm. The wall.
Huh?
Mainly the wall and the floor.
Wall on the floor? Okay. So, did it take off this side of his face? How much, can you show me on your face how much it took off of his?
Probably about right in here.
Did it go through his brain, or did it just take off this side of the face?
I think it went kind of in an angle right here and come out here.
Okay, was it a slug or birdshot?
I still think it was birdshot. He's got these great big, I think they're 30.
Was it what kind of shotgun was it?
12 gauge.
Okay. Where is the gun?
In the pile too.
It's in the same pile? Okay. Can you give me just a minute? Okay. Would you like to have this bottle of water? There you go, buddy. Give me just a minute, okay? Would you like to write a statement out for me of what happened and put it in your own words? I think the prosecutor would like to probably look at that.
Won't say I ain't the best speller.
That's all right. If you'd like to do that, that would be fantastic, because I think a prosecutor would like to have it in your own words. Okay?
You think sometime maybe, well, if anyone does, able for me to get a cigarette?
Yep, I think we could probably manage that, okay? You were good to me, and you're still good with me, so I have no problem with that, all right? Okay? Will you put that in your words for me? Okay. You did the right thing, Mike. You did the right thing. Did you fear for your life? Okay.
That's all I've been thinking about since it's happened.
I bet. You probably haven't ate or slept, have you? Okay. All right. Just hang tight, okay? I'll be right back with you.
The detective leaves the room to regroup with his fellow officers to go over any questions they may have missed. They don't want to take too long because Michael is showing remorse for his actions, so now is the time to get some answers.
I just got just a few more questions for you, okay, Mike? Yeah, sure. Be right back, bud. It's all right, bud. We really need to write that, okay? I want the judge and I want the prosecutor to see in your handwriting of what transpired, okay? I think it's very important. But before we do that, I do have some other questions for you, okay? With that being said, the questions that I would have is there's some rumors, and probably a little bit more than rumors, that you were upset at him about coming on to your daughter. And was that argument that morning a result of him coming on to your daughter?
No.
What was the argument about?
We left, like I told you, when we come back. Well,
Start over, because you didn't tell me that. You told another detective that, I think.
we left, first that was the day.
Let's just sit back and talk, man. Just relax. I know it's hard, but let's relax. So tell me in your words again what happened.
About 10 o'clock at night, we went down to Kenny and Ryan's. We was down there until about 4 o'clock in the morning.
Who was down there?
Me, his old lady, my daughter, and me. My daughter was asleep in the truck the whole time. And then we went back up to the house. Jimmy just come out and started, well, at first he didn't come out, he didn't hear us, he must have been asleep or something. My daughter went up to the bathroom, and the next thing I know, here he comes out with the gun. And he told me that I needed to get out of the house, this, that, and another, and I told him as soon as my daughter got out of the bathroom that
So you could obviously tell that he's lying. That's not how it went. He went right back to folding his arms. So his story is that he acted because the situation happened with his daughter. Apparently, Jim was trying to hit on his daughter. Daughter let him know. He told his daughter to get out the house. Then Jim decided to approach him with the weapon, where he was able to push the weapon towards Jim's face, and it accidentally went off. No, I don't think that this happened at all. I don't think it happened at all. I don't even think, if anything, I don't even think that it had to do with Jim trying to hit on his daughter. I think that it was something else. I don't know what, but it's something else that possibly him or his daughter was doing. Maybe they were stealing his money or something like that, that caused Jim to say, hey, you know what, y'all need to get out my house. And I do think that, if Jim decided to get the weapon, if I even believe that part of the story, that it was him to forcibly say, get out of my house. But truly, I think that he was ambushed. And I think that Michael always had the gun. And he just ended up shooting Jim at this particular time. Hey, Luna, how are you? It's good to see you. Good to see you this Sunday. I'm glad to be here. Glad that you are here, dear. Glad that you are here. All right, but let's hear what else he's saying with his story, because they already caught him a little bit in the lie where something that he said about 15 minutes ago is now completely different after he showed them a reenactment of what happened that day.
I would leave, and he said, no, Melody wasn't leaving. And I started up the steps, and he had the gun and pointed at me. And we had a struggle.
In the kitchen?
And next thing I know, the gun went off.
Why did he say that she wasn't leaving?
He didn't say.
Where was she at when the shooting happened?
In the bathroom.
What did she say when she came out?
She just lost it because she seen blood everywhere.
Okay. Were you drinking?
No.
Were you under the influence of any drugs when it happened? Be honest.
Yes.
What were you using?
Meth.
Okay. When did you use meth?
Michael claims that he had been under the influence of methamphetamine, which means he could have committed the crime because his mind was altered. A good lawyer will use this as a way to get their client a reduced sentence. They will argue that the defendant would never have broken the law if they had a clear mind.
4th.
The 4th? Okay. And this was the morning of the 6th?
Morning of...
Do you remember what day of week it was?
So it's very good that the doctor is asking him, when the last time you used meth. Just off of what the video essay said, that's true. If he was to get a good lawyer would say, well, he was under the influence, so that distorted his judgment, and he probably wouldn't have done this. But now that he just confirmed that the last time that he used meth was the 4th, and the incident happened on the 6th, unless he says I used meth earlier on that day on the 6th, then you pretty much wasn't under the influence the time that you decided to do this deed. If the only one that you're talking about is on the 4th was the last time you used meth. So that wouldn't help him. And I'm glad they got that on camera, per se, because they can use that. Even if he does get a lawyer and they say that, they're going to be like, well, okay, well, he admitted that he used it on the 4th and not the 6th. So there you go. There you go.
I think it was the 5th. That might have been the 6th.
Do you remember what day of the week? Were you down at Kenny's on a Friday night or a Saturday night? Sunday night?
I'm thinking it was Sunday night.
Sunday night? So it would have been the 5th on a Sunday night. Sunday was the 5th. So you went down there at 10 o'clock on the 10th, on the 5th.
Nope.
And you come back at 4 o'clock on the 6th. Was he awake when you got home?
He must have heard the door shut, or Melody when she shut the bathroom door or something.
Okay. Did any conversation take place between Melody and Jimmy?
No.
Did she tell you that? Did she tell you that he didn't say anything to her?
She told me that, and I was right there. I was like at the bottom of the steps. It's real close to where his room was.
Did you tell Kenny what happened? Okay. Did Kenny help you?
No.
Who helped? Somebody helped you burn that body and move that body?
No, they didn't.
Okay. So, can you describe when you drugged, how did you get him out of the house?
On the sled.
What sled?
There's a black sled up there by the burn pile.
Okay. And you moved him from the house down the steps of the porch over to the burn pile?
Yes.
Okay. Who did you tell?
I didn't tell anyone. The only one that knew at first was just me and my daughter.
Okay. How did you leave the house that night? Did you drive?
When we went over to Kenny's?
No. After Jimmy was killed.
Well, I didn't go anywhere.
You just stayed there and just left him outside?
laid down, took a nap for 3, 4, 5 hours.
So when did you clean up the kitchen? At what point did you clean up the kitchen?
Same night.
So after you used the black cart, did you load him up on the cart yourself, or did your daughter help?
No, she didn't help.
Okay.
I told her to go to the basement. She went to sleep.
Okay. And then from that point, you put him on the black cart, you wheel him down the steps, you wheel him over to the burn pile, you just dump him off into the burn pile.
I left him on the sled and just set it there and covered it up with some old branches.
Who did you tell that you did this? Or that this happened, I guess you could say. I know you told Kenny, your daughter knew you did it. Who else?
That's it.
I know there's other people because other people's talking. Who else did you tell? Mike, here's the deal, buddy. Don't lie now, okay? You're being very, very honest. You're being very good. Don't start lying, okay? That's when things go sideways.
I told my stepdad.
And your stepdad is who?
Frank.
Frank. Seymour?
No, Spacey.
I'm truly believing that he had already unalived, or I should say kill. He have already killed Jim, and he killed Jim before the 6th. He said that this all happened on the 6th. I don't believe it anymore, because the detective, he pointed out that if he shot Jim in the head, that means it was splattered all over the kitchen. That means the roof, the sink, the floor, you name it. He said that he was the only one that cleaned it up. Okay. So if you were the only one that cleaned it up, and then you said that you slept for 5 hours, but then you had to get rid of the body, right? And you said that your daughter wasn't there the whole entire time. So again, cleaning up a kitchen like that, like really scrubbing it down, that takes time, right? That takes time, especially if you're going to use bleach and all that stuff like that. That's going to take time. So I don't think that the time frame is working. And I don't think that he was the only one who got rid of Jim's body. Somebody else had to help him. And the fact that now is not 1, not 2, but 3 other people that are talking about it, or that he has told, I'm not believing the timeline anymore. Like, this just happened. It seemed that Jim probably did lose his life on the 4th, and on the 6th, they just was able to catch him on the 6th. That's what it seems like it. So now, if they even happen to find Jim's body, it's gonna be messed up. It's not gonna be preserved very well. And I don't think he preserved it very well at all. He just said he just put it on a sled. He put it on towards the back, just dumped it there. That wild animals, ants, the weather condition, you name it, all of that is going to affect the body if the body's not preserved properly, or at least halfway preserved, meaning as putting it in a bag or something like that. This is sad. This is really, really sad. But we do see that he's also tensing up again. He's still crossing his arm, letting us know that he's not trying to be forthcoming. Even some of the things that he's saying, you could tell that, he's just adding things in that he thinks is going to make it stick, because he kind of believes, he kind of believes that he already got the detective in his pocket, and he doesn't realize that the detective know, right? The detective know why you took that bait that he put out there. The detective know why you're making it seem like it was an accident, and that you accidentally, the gun went off and ricocheted and hit him on the side of his head or his face or half his face, whatever. Yeah. Let's see. Turkey said, where did this happen? I forgot the state, but I'll put it in the chat once I remember, or I get it, or I'll put it at the end. I'll let you know where this happened. Let's go on.
What's your last name?
Specie, S-P-E-C-I-E.
Okay, where's he live at?
With my mom.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's good to see you.
So Frank knows.
Happy Sunday.
Who else knows?
believe that's all I told him.
Okay. All right. So you guys, let me make sure I get this right. Okay. So about 10 o'clock on the 5th, you go to Kenneth Amorine's. Your daughter's asleep out in the truck. You leave about 4 a.m. You arrive back at the house between 4 and 4:30 to the house. She goes in to go to the bathroom.
Yes,
he comes out with a shotgun. And he says, get the hell off of his property. Holding a shotgun on you. Did he say anything to you other than that?
No.
He just said, get the hell out.
Yep. I tried.
And you told him what?
I just tried talking to him like I usually did.
Had he ever pulled a gun on you before?
Mm-hmm. Several times.
Okay. Did you fear that he was going to shoot you?
That night, yeah, I just had a weird...
And what time in the morning was that again? On the 6th?
About 5:30.
5:30. 5:30. And how did you get him in the house? How did you guys end up in the house?
He was already in the house. I unlocked the door with my key and we went in.
Did he have the gun on you at that point?
Mm-hmm.
He had the gun down?
He wasn't. When I first went in the house, he wasn't even up.
I thought you said that he came out and met you outside.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't meet you outside?
No, in the house.
So he met you at the door, kind of. No?
We met us. My daughter went to the bathroom. I unlocked the door, let her in. She went to the bathroom, and while she was in there, she must have made noise or something. He heard, then that's when he come out with his gun.
Did he know it was you?
Mm-hmm. I'm the only one that's got a key.
Okay. And he said what to you?
He told me to get the hell off the property. I wasn't welcome there anymore.
Okay. And then did he have the gun pointed at you?
Yes.
Did he say he was going to kill you? Did he just have the gun pointed at you and tell you to get the hell off the property?
He told me that he was going to kill me.
How did he say it?
He told me if I didn't get off his property, he was going to fucking kill me.
Michael may think saying that James threatened to shoot him may help him in court, but it does more harm than it does good. He claims that James told him to leave before saying he would shoot him. This means that Michael had the opportunity to leave a dangerous situation, and he chose not to.
Correct.
Now that Michael has told his version of events twice, they want to hear it one more time, but this time Michael's story is different.
Let's do this again. If I'm
not the crazy kitten.
He's your daughter. Where would we be in your where? Show us where we would be.
The bathroom is back this way, let's say.
The bathroom back that way, and so you started to come out of this way. Jimmy's standing
Kitchen's
there.
over this way.
Yep, and Jimmy's right there, and I'm over this way. And Jimmy went because she started to come out, and he went to grab her by the neck.
So if I go up, I go to grab him, right hand or left hand?
He went to grab her by his left hand.
Left hand?
Or that would have been his right.
Okay.
Because
Like
he had
this?
a gun in his hand.
Okay. Was the gun pointed up or down?
Kind of like pointed like at my stomach area.
Pointed?
Mm-hmm.
Like at you? Or just kind of out in the middle of nowhere?
It kind of pointed like, if he would have shot it, it would have hit me.
Okay. And
in this version of events, Michael's daughter Melody is not in the bathroom. Instead, she is involved with the altercation. This is a prime example of why detectives will ask the same questions multiple times, because it's much harder to remember a lie than it is to remember the truth.
so then what happened? So was his finger like on the butt of the gun?
No.
Right. See, what he said earlier, he just already contradicted himself. He said that his daughter wasn't even there. He said that his daughter wasn't even there. He said that he heard that he was trying to holler or touch his daughter. his daughter wasn't there, that the guy came out with the shotgun and just told him to get the F out of his house. Now, the situation is his daughter is being assaulted, and in the process of being assaulted, Jim has the gun in one hand, not necessarily pointed directly at her, but he has it towards out. And then now he's saying that the gun was kind of towards him, that he could have been potentially hit by the weapon. His whole complete storyline from the beginning is completely different now. And this is a part of the process, also asking the same question over and over and over again and seeing if you will get the same answer. And he already did not give the same answer. So my kind of theory, starts to ring true, that he did not commit this by himself. I do believe that him and his daughter did jump him. And I do believe that he shot him, and he was the one who always had the rifle. It wasn't Jim. I believe that they shot him. I believe he told his daughter to go scarce, because he's a father, right? He's going to take the fall for his own daughter. But I think before that happened, she did help him by putting his body on the sled and putting it wherever that they did put him at. But yeah, it seemed like they purposely did this. It seemed like they was tired of Jim, or maybe they just wanted to live in Jim's spot and take it over and not hear about paying rent or anything like that. And Jim having forced the issue of them paying rent. Maybe he was getting tired. Maybe he wanted them to contribute to the household, and they didn't want to do it. And then on top of that, knowing that he has a drug addict, him doing meth, there's a lot of things that's coming in my head why this actually played out and where the real motive is. But I am no longer convinced that the motive was that his daughter was in danger. I think that he's just using his daughter as an excuse as to why they harmed Jim. Let's see. Hey, Nicole, how are you? How are you? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. I hope everything is well with you. Hope everything's well. Let's see. Brucey said he forgot which lie he told. Yeah, he did. And Turkey said, funny how story keeps shifting. It does, right? It definitely does. Guy apparently is crazy strong based on now easily he took control of the shotgun. Right. And that's another thing too, because that means that Jim was super, super strong. If he's sitting up there and he got, his daughter in a neck grip, right? A hand grip, and he got this gun and he's able to hold the gun up at the same time and be able to shoot you with one arm with a rifle. Man, listen. Luna said, I think you're right. He got frustrated with them, plus everything else he tried to do to her. Yeah, I mean, I do. I really do believe that that's what the situation. Definitely. Turkey said betting drugs had a play for sure. Well, the thing about it is he did say that he did meth, but he said he did meth on the 4th. Supposedly, the incident happened on the 6th. So he didn't say that he did drugs on the 6th. So he wasn't under any influence the day that he shot Jim. But he is a meth addict, per se. But let's go on. We're almost done with this one. Almost done.
It was like like I showed you earlier, but he had it on the trigger.
His finger was on the trigger. Mm-hmm. So he had it like that. He had like this. Then what happened?
Grabbed a hold of the gun and pushed it up, and it went off.
So while he still got his hand around her neck?
Well, she just started to walk in, and that was like a distraction, it seemed like to me.
So his hand was actually
on me, on the girl.
On your daughter. Mm-hmm. Or not?
Yes, it was.
It was. Good. Okay. So like she starts walking. So let's do it real quick.
Like that, and I just pushed the thing up like that, and then
his finger
hit the tree.
And where did it hit his face at? Which side? If we're like this, which side?
Moving on his right hand side.
So the gun would have been like this, and it would have went off like that. Did she get covered with blood?
I believe a little bit.
Okay. Where's her clothes? Because your clothes are down in the basement, you think.
And it's a camo pants and a black shirt, long sleeve shirt, short sleeve shirt, okay.
I think it's still the house.
Because you told me earlier, you left the whole part out about your daughter coming in the room like that. You left that completely out. So which one is being truthful? The one where the daughter's coming at, or the other one?
The one with the daughter.
Why did you leave that part out?
Because I want my daughter left out of it. She didn't have nothing to do with it.
Okay, but I understand. But it's very important that we get every aspect of it to understand what happened here. Because that's a very important piece of the puzzle.
What was the fight about? What was the argument about? Was it about your daughter?
No.
Was it about your daughter? You said it was about your daughter. You didn't want her to go, or he didn't want her to go with you. Why?
He just told me to get off of the property, and I told him I'd go wait till my daughter, and he said no, I wasn't.
And that's when you guys were in the kitchen, and she comes out of the bathroom, and that's when the argument transpires?
Yep.
Was there anything prior to that? No?
Nothing.
Everything was fine up until that point.
So his hand was still on her when that gun shot, when he got shot in the head.
Mm-hmm.
So why did he get the gun?
He had the gun when he walked out of his room.
When he walked out of the room. Did he know that the girl that you were going to take your daughter at the time, prior?
Because you guys just got there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So why did he go get the gun?
When he walked out, he come out with the gun. I told you, he told my mom when we got there that he was sitting in a chair with the gun pointing at the front door.
Michael would be charged with murder, and he would...
See, that's why he messed up completely. Not only did he change his story numerous of times, it doesn't make sense. He just said that they just got there. So you mean to tell me if they just got there, he already had the gun waiting for them. He allowed y'all to come in the house, allow your daughter to go to the bathroom or go take a shower, wait until she comes out the house, right? Or comes out the shower, puts his hand around her neck, has the other, the rifle in the other hand. And from there, you bum rush him, was able to get the rifle or push the rifle up towards his head where it accidentally went off. This is what you want us to believe. No, doesn't make any sense. And then the most important detail of it, if he contacted your mother before y'all ever even made it back home, that means that he was already letting your mother know that she needs to go ahead and make room for you and your daughter because you are no longer welcome at his house. And then on top of that, before he even had the gun pointing at you or whatever not, he told you, leave my property. You're no longer welcome. You decided to force yourself into his property after he told you not to come and not to come back anymore. You could have had, like I said, if you lived there for a certain amount of time, you could have got the police involved and then eventually go to court saying, hey, I have Mel here. Mel been coming here for a year, and get that all, figured out. But if he's supposedly such, dangerous and he has the weapon, why would you continue to force your way into the house if someone is having a rifle in your face saying, leave my property or I will shoot you? And then you don't leave. You don't leave. You proceeded to go inside the house like, you crazy. You ain't gonna do nothing to me. Yeah, he messed up his whole case. He messed up his own case. He really did. He really, 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 really did. But let's go on. Let's finish this out.
Take the case to trial. Prosecution would argue that not only was Michael aware that James did not want him at his house, James also demanded he leave multiple times before the gun was fired. They would also state that the lengths Michael went to cover it up shows that he is a monster and not just a man protecting his daughter. Further investigation would reveal that his daughter also helped in the disposal and cover-up of the body, but she would strike a plea deal and receive only 9 years for her part in the crime. Michael would be found guilty and receive life in prison.
The jury being duly sworn and panel find that the defendant, Michael T. Dixon, guilty of murder, unspecified. defendant, Michael T. Dixon, guilty of murder, an unspecified felony. In order, the court will publish them at this time. We, the jury, being duly sworn and paneled, find that the defendant, Michael T. Dixon, guilty of murder, an unspecified felony, as charged in the indictment, and that defendant did purposely cause the death of James Thomas Whitaker.
I did, didn't I, Turkey? I told you.
Thank you for watching. I will see you next time here on the Red Tree Crime YouTube channel.
I told you. I literally told you. I knew that the daughter was involved. I knew that the daughter was involved because it didn't seem right. And normally when things don't seem right, that means that is a lie. And like I said, the story didn't make sense anyway. It still didn't really lead to the point of actually why the gun was even present anyway, until you said that he called your mom. So that means he had already informed your mom that you are no longer allowed in his house, you or his daughter or your daughter. And y'all pushed yourself into his house, even though he had a weapon on you. And then this whole thing about, oh, he grabbed my daughter by the throat and stuff like that. I don't even think that even happened. I think he had the gun, he had the rifle. He told you to get off his property. Y'all went in his house. He said, I will shoot you if you don't get out of my house. You don't get out of my house. Michael bum rushed him. He got the rifle away from him, shot him, and then also had his daughter assist with covering his body, putting his body on a sled, and moving it to the whatever location that they moved it to. And then he told his daughter to scarce. He was willing to take the whole full responsibility, the whole bid. And at the end of the day, she still had to do time. He got life in prison. She got 9 years for helping him remove a body, which is pretty normal. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's really a shame. Prayers to that guy's family though, because this is terrible. That's just really terrible. Brucey said, MJ is a mastermind. Yeah, I have my times when I have it. Oh my God, the evil things people can do. I will want justice. Yeah, people do very, very hard things, very horrible things. Read that like a book. Yep. Yep. All right, guys. So I have the next case for you good folks. Just make sure you're hitting the like button for me. It truly helps the channel. Or you can hit the down button if you don't like it. Share this out to anyone who is interested in this type of commentary. And if you have any cases that you would like me to review, go ahead and put it at the end in the comment section. I read my comments and I will add it to my trusty book of cases to go over on this channel going forward. And I just also want to just mention, shout out to the channels that I'm actually using their videos today for these 3 cases that we're going over. So I want to shout out Red Tree Stories. That was the first one. We're going to be looking at one from Red Thread Interrogations, as well as Stay Awake. Those are usually my main 3 favorite ones that I like to use. So shout out to them. Let's see. All right. So the next one that I have for you good folks is, I think, we're going to do this one. It's about a killer husband. A killer husband realized that his wife is still breathing. So when I saw this seemed very interesting because he seemed very dramatic during the body cam of him getting arrested. And so it really caught my eye. I haven't dig deeper into it. So we're going to be watching this together. So let me go ahead and pull this up and then we'll go ahead. All right. Let me know if you see my screen. Okay. And here we go.
The man you are looking at is 37-year-old Tom Grayley. You're about to hear his story as to why his wife Nicole is currently lying on their living room floor unresponsive.
What happened? How did she end up on the floor? We took a shower. She wasn't feeling good. We took a shower. We went out to the couch. She said she wasn't feeling good. She got down on the floor and she fell over. I tried getting her up. I got some water. I threw some water on her. She didn't wake up.
What Tom is leaving out of his story is that Nicole is covered from head to toe in fresh cigarette burns and bruises and is clearly a recent victim of domestic violence.
Anyone know what happened to her recently?
I have no idea.
Although Tom seems to think he can act his way out of this one, he is about to get a rude awakening. The EMTs inside the house managed to bring Nicole back to life.
Pulse return. Shut down. Shut down, ready. Don't worry about the heat.
Ah, the look of relief. As you can see, Tom is ecstatic to learn that his dying wife has a pulse, so much so that he thanked God for this miracle.
Don't worry about the heat.
Just kidding. As soon as Tom noticed that his wife was still alive and breathing, he instinctively looked away from her. He then realized that Nicole could wake up and expose him for hurting her, and his so-called panic attack continued.
You need
Sit up.
You need to stop. You are going to
trying to breathe.
You are going to fall off the step and you are going to hurt yourself. Slow your breathing down. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. You'll catch your breath. Deep breaths. Do it for your kids. Calm down.
My face is going numb. Get my hands up.
Sir, what do you want me to do for
My
you?
face is going numb.
Now that is crazy. Wow. So if y'all don't see what is going on, hold on, let me put my camera back on. So if y'all don't see what is going on, he thought that his wife was done for. He thought that he was able to do whatever he did to her. Most likely, I think it was strangulation. He thought that his, she was gone and she wasn't going to be alive to tell the tale. Unfortunately for him, EMT was able to revive her back. So now he is staging a panic attack, pretty much anxiety attack. That's what I believe it is. It's an anxiety attack because now he's like, oh shit, she could tell on him and tell what he did. But now he wants to make it seem like he's having a medical episode so they can get him to the hospital, probably put pause on the situation at hand. And that is a tactic that a lot of people will use, right? If you start to have a medical emergency, then that takes precedence than actually what they came there to investigate, whether or not if it's a domestic violence or not. They have to treat any emergency or health emergency seriously. So he's using that. He's using that to his advantage. Hey, I'm going through something, health-wise. Help me. I can't breathe. Something's going on. I'm about to pass out. I'm about to faint. So that is a tactic that he's using. I don't think it's going to necessarily work for him because, before he seemed like he was okay, even though he was in handcuffs and he was acting kind of crazy. He seemed like he was okay when it came down to health-wise. Now this whole I'm hyperventilating and I can't breathe type of situation. I don't know. I don't think that the cops on scene are buying it, and I wouldn't buy it anyway. Turkey said, yeah, what a concerned husband. He's not even caring about his wife. In fact, he's more concerned about himself, which also gives him away. He needs taken to the train station. Yes, the train station, right? I don't live that far from the train station. Yeah. Brucey said hyperventilating. Yeah, he's hyperventilating. Yep. Call that gel-itis. Yes. No, gel-itis. I like that. I like that a lot. Gel-itis. Yeah. Prolonging the inevitable. Yes, that's exactly what he's doing. Prolonging it. But let's go on.
Can't breathe. Get my hands above my head so I can expand my lungs. Come on, please.
You're going to end up in the back of my car if we don't stop. Your kids are right here. You need to calm down for them. Did you take any narcotics or any other drug today that is affecting the way you are acting?
By this point, all of the first responders were over Tom's theatrics. What we haven't showed you is that Tom has been acting this ridiculous since the moment they arrived 40 minutes earlier.
I need you outside with me, okay?
I want to be with my kids.
I understand that, but I need
I'm
you
not
outside.
leaving my kids, sir. Can I be with my kids for a minute? Get a hold of
Sir,
somebody?
listen, I'm trying to figure out what is going on so I can help
I
her.
told you as much as I can. Can I please have a moment with my kids and try to get a hold of somebody for my kids?
I need your help with this so we can help her.
Can you give me a minute? Can you leave me alone, please?
But now it was clear that Tom had run out of energy, so the deputies decided to wait for their sergeant to tell them what their next step should be. In the meantime, they checked in with the EMTs to see how Nicole was doing.
Cut it in half.
Do you think it was a drug overdose or?
We had a return of pulse. She's at 95 for pulse right now. She's still unresponsive.
You don't think any of this is from when she fell?
No, not for that.
The medics weren't sure how long Nicole would make it if she didn't get to a hospital soon. However, the closest available hospital was about 35 miles away.
I say a helicopter for this.
Are we able to get a helicopter started over to UAT over?
I can try. Nobody's going to find that today.
It's just a pretty critical patient.
Unfortunately, getting Nicole airlifted to the hospital would be impossible because all local helicopters were grounded due to severe winds of more than 50 miles per hour.
We have a post-arrest. Looks to me from blunt force trauma because she's covered head to toe in bruises. She has some teeth knocked out. I was trying to get a helicopter out. Yes.
With a chopper out of the equation,
So, as you can see, the EMT, by just a quick examining of her, realized that she has blunt force trauma, probably to the head. She has teeth knocked out, and she has bruises all over her body. A fall would not do that. A fall would not do that. And she didn't fall off the roof, right? She didn't fall off the roof. She didn't fall off a ladder. Where did she fall off of? I don't know, maybe the bed or the sofa, but even way, whatever fall that she supposedly had, the only fall that I see that she probably had was the one that had to do with his fist, right? His fist was the fall, right? And something else was the blunt force to her head or whatever. Not maybe him too. But that's probably the reason why he was carrying on 40 minutes before when the police got on the scene talking about, oh, I want to be with my kids. He wanted to be with his kids because he wanted to talk to them and tell them to stay quiet. They're going to ask you questions. Mommy's going to be okay, but I need you to stay quiet about actually what happened. You know, because if there's arguing or they hear any thumping or anything of that sort, they're going to tell the police, right? Especially if they're young, they're going to tell what they heard and they're going to tell what they saw. So he wanted to hurry up and link himself with his kids and give them that look. Don't say anything. You got to keep quiet, okay? Mommy's going to be okay, but you got to keep quiet or daddy's going to get in trouble, all right? That's what all that was about. That is what all that was about. Let's see. Hey, King, how are you? How are you doing this Sunday? Hope everything is well. Hope everything is well. Brucey said, ladies, there will be a telltale sign a man is like this. Please don't overlook them. Don't make excuses for him. He won't change. I agree, Brucey. Sometimes, but you got to also remember too, sometimes you don't know a man like this unless they decide to show themselves, right? And when they show themselves, that's when you have to be like, okay, one and you're done, right? One and you're done. But there's people who can keep up a facade for years before that type of person, that part of them comes out. That part of them comes out. But let's go on. Let's go on. Let's see what they have to say. They said they can't airlift her. Everything was grounded within this area. The closest hospital was 35 miles away, and she's in acute care right now, meaning it's a life and death situation. They have to get her treatment as quickly as possible. Let's go on.
EMS had no choice but to drive Nicole to Geauga Hospital. As they were preparing things, Sergeant Matt Johns finally arrived to the sight of Tom burritoed in a blanket in his front doorway.
All right, I want you to stand up.
Hey, tell us what's going on here so we can figure this out. You're laying down.
He's cuffed.
This ain't happening. So we need to put him in a police car. So
yes, that's
laying here. Okay. Once we get in our car, then we can start through this in a rational, logical way. But when you're laying in the doorway and there's kids crying, that's not helpful. Don't you agree, Tom? You can take your breath and it's warm.
Heat.
Yeah,
Heat.
it's warm. It's warm in there.
Heat high. High.
Okay. Sit tight in there.
Can I get my hands above my head,
Nope.
please?
Nope. Sit there. Okay, what's happening?
After the deputies gave Sergeant Johns a quick rundown of the situation, he went inside to ask the kids if they saw what happened to their mom.
Where did you see Mom at when she couldn't breathe? This is
Half it.
okay. Is it wet because he put some water on Mom to try to help her?
Just as Sergeant Johns was finishing his tour of the house, the EMTs were beginning their departure to Geauga Hospital.
Female's being transported to Geauga.
Okay.
She has, they think a broken jaw. Her teeth are all broken.
Okay.
Her eye is all cut up. This eye is all bruised, swollen shut.
Okay.
Her legs are covered in bruises. Her arms.
New stuff or old stuff?
The face is brand new.
Okay.
It was around this time that Tom's parents unexpectedly arrived at the scene.
Yes, really short.
Juanita Grayley, who is Tom's sister and auntie to his children, showed up a few minutes later.
How bad is Nikki? Can you guys tell me that?
No.
No. Where did you guys take her?
Geauga.
I'm pretty familiar with a lot of things that go on here.
Is that right? Okay.
I come out here a lot. The kids will tell you that.
Yeah.
I've been to check on Nikki a few times.
Okay. Maybe, Deputy Griffey, you want to speak to her outside so that everybody in the whole world doesn't have to hear everything?
Yeah.
Just as they exited the house, the lead investigator, Lieutenant Sean Ward, arrived at the scene just in time to join in on the conversation.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, I've been out here to check on Nikki a couple times.
Okay.
I know that my brother has been physically
Hey, Skinny. It's good to
abusive
see
to
you
her
again.
in the past.
How are you?
Last time I was
Happy
out here was
Sunday.
probably about 2 weeks ago, and Nikki was unrecognizable.
What do you mean unrecognizable?
Honestly, I've been in fear to contact you guys. She's asked me not to contact you guys. I just know that he doesn't like the cops and that he's kind of trained the kids the same way. I think Tom needs help. Tom is like a conspiracy theory. He's up in that. I love him, but he's my brother, and he's up.
Juanita.
All right. So there we go. He's an abusive husband. This is not the first time this situation has happened before. Sister is now finally ratting it out, and I guess the reason why she feels more comfortable, letting the cops know what's going on, because there's a possibility that the mom can lose her life, right? The wife can lose her life. It's unfortunate because, like I said, we talked about this on this channel before. You really can't help a abusive or abuse victim unless they really want help, right? You can do everything you possibly can. You can actually try to remove them from their abuser. They will go back to their abuser. They will literally turn on you because you are putting their abuser in a vicarious situation, right? They'll probably attack you at this point. You have to allow them to have that epiphany where they're like, you know what? I don't deserve this. I don't need to be here. And I am really going to choose myself and put myself first instead of this relationship or that person. And I'm going to walk away. You really can't move a abusive person out of that situation because the abuse really started from the mind first before it ever went physical, right? There are stages to abuse. And I have gone over this numerous times on this channel, but I'll say it again. There are stages to abuse, right? Usually it always starts mentally, then it's emotional abuse, and then it gets to the physical abuse, right? They have to start affecting your psyche first to make you believe that this type of behavior is okay. And usually it starts with the smallest things, just calling you out your name, right? They see how much you're going to take. They'll always test the water to see how much you will take. And if you brush it off the first time, if you say, oh, you know what, I forgive you or whatever not, then that gives them the signal to let me continue to test even more and how far I can go. So now the sister is willing to say, yeah, he's abusive. He has a problem. She also admitted, like what I said earlier, about why he wanted to speak to his kids, and he was literally acting like a buffoon, trying to, no, can I have some time and moment for my kids and all that stuff like that, because he wanted to give them that look and tell them, you know what we know, you know what I told you, right? Don't say nothing to the police, okay? Don't talk to the police. Tell them nothing happened. Just tell them that daddy was trying to help mommy. You don't want daddy to get in trouble, right? They don't understand, right? We want to keep our family together, right? That's why I knew that that's what he was doing. He was conditioning his kids to do that, you know? So this is sad and serious, because now, you know, the face is the fresh, I guess the fresh bumps and bruises and the knocking out the teeth. That's fresh. So the bruises and stuff that she has all over her body are old bruises. That's crazy. That's really, really, really crazy. Sebastian says straight to jail. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Turkey said, but knowing that's happening got to make you liable, not saying nothing, knowing that's happening. Not necessarily. It doesn't necessarily make you liable. It is because if the victim is telling you not to call, you know, and everything's all right and everything's okay, then, you know, I don't think that the sister was actually there. Now, if she heard or she saw the abuses and stuff like that, and she told her, hey, go call the cops, and she doesn't go call the cops, what can you do, right? Or if she tells you not to call the cops, what can you do? But if she was there, let's say, for example, her brother went oops upside her head, and she did that right in front of her, and then she don't do anything about it. Oh yeah, she's definitely, I would consider her liable as well, that you just allow that to happen, knowing that you could have called the cops or probably even tried to stop it or prevent it, or at least move them, separately until police can get involved to see what's going on. Let's see. Hey, Bama boy, it's so good to see you. So good to see you, love. How are you? Happy Sunday. I'm so glad that you was able to come in and say hi to me. I truly, truly appreciate it, dear. I'm glad that everything's going okay with you. Glad everything's going okay. Welcome back. Welcome back, Bama. Welcome back. All right, let's go ahead and finish this up.
Didn't mince her words while detailing her brother's abusive nature. However, even though Juanita's statement is a valuable piece of the puzzle, the only ones who were actually present that night, other than Tom and Nicole, were the kids. So they asked the family if they could speak with the kids alone.
Until we figure out what's going on, I don't want anybody in this house.
Don't be afraid to talk to these guys, okay? They're here to help. They're here to help you. Okay?
And your mom.
They need to know what happens and what goes on here, okay?
The kids seemed terrified, so Juanita was allowed to stay with them while they answered the deputy's questions.
I know that Daddy's told you guys not to talk to people, but sometimes you have to. Have they been fighting the past couple of days like they do when Aunt Ada comes out to visit?
I understand what you
check
mean,
on you guys?
I
Yes.
understand.
They have been. Just whenever you guys can remember, we need to talk to these guys.
Hey, Justin, how are you?
This will help your mom and this will help your dad get the help that he needs.
It seemed like it was going to take some time for the kids to open up, so Lieutenant Ward and Sergeant Johns checked in with Tom in the back of the cruiser, hoping that he was ready to spill the beans.
If you're in handcuffs, you're in the back of the police car, I'm going to advise you of your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you for the law.
While Lieutenant Ward read Tom his rights, Sergeant John secretly placed his body cam on the passenger seat to record their conversation.
Tom, look at me. You guys ever get physical?
Can you do me a favor?
What's that?
One favor, and I'll talk to you for hours if you want.
What do you need?
Let me go in and sit with my kids and hold my kids, because I'm going to need to give you things anyway.
Yeah, my boy,
You're going to need to give me things?
I want to give you things. I have tons of things to give you.
Like what?
Boxes of stuff.
Boxes
of stuff.
Like what?
Tons of stuff. I don't know.
That doesn't help me. I'm interested in what happened tonight. Okay, Tom?
We were in the living room and started arguing again, and she said that she didn't feel good and fell.
Nicole didn't sustain those injuries from falling. You know that.
I know.
I'm not saying you're a bad guy. I think things just got a little carried away tonight. Would you agree?
I'm not agreeing with that. You're trying to put me in a position I don't want to be in, and that's making me upset.
I don't want to. I wouldn't want to be in that position either. I get that. I understand.
Please just let me put my arms around my kids and give you whatever you need.
I don't give a damn about you being upset and you putting me in a position that I don't want to be. Oh, so now you turn into a whole toddler when you're caught and there's no way out. Now you want to turn into a toddler? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, now you sitting up here crying and all. Was you crying when you was going oops upside her head? Was you crying when you busted out her teeth? Was you crying when you was kicking her, right? Was you crying when you had her unresponsive and then you go and throw water in her face? And you probably threw water in her face because you thought that was going to snap her out of it, because you probably have done that before, right? Knocked her unconscious and you threw water on her face afterwards and she woke up with wounds and stuff like that. Like, you can give me a break. I mean, like, right now they treating you with somewhat like semi-kid's glove. I don't have no remorse for you. You sitting up there crying like a little baby. You wasn't no baby when you was going left and rights and ups and downs on this woman. Like, come on now. Give me a break. Oh, I see my kids. Can I hold my kids and I'll give you whatever you want? Oh, now you care about your kids. How about you couldn't care about your kids more enough not to hurt their mother? That never came across your mind? I love my kids so much, I wouldn't harm their mother. I wouldn't harm their mother in front of them. Or I wouldn't harm their mother in the next room where they can hear me harming their mother. Like, come on now. Gosh. And Brucey said, and let you take a hostage. Oh, okay. Are you taking relaxers? I hope they're making you feel better, Bama. Turkey said, the whole family knowing that dad's been telling the kids not to say anything shows that kind of messed up stuff been happening. Yeah, and it also probably shows something that's been happening in their family regardless, right? Normally this is things that are taught, in the household. So we don't know if, even this guy, Tom, his mom was probably oops upside her head or hit on or whatever, smacked after having an argument with their dad. Most of the time, most of the time these dudes that do that, they saw other men do that, whether it was their father or whatever, whoever was close to them, they saw them treat women in that way, especially when they got angry or they felt that the woman was talking too much smack or lip, and they think that this is the way that they need to teach or treat women. It's sad. It's really sad. Brucey said, let me hold my kid. Hell no. Right, exactly. Bama said, poor me syndrome. Right. Now it's all poor me, poor me. Sebastian said, that's the common thing. Oftentimes the abuser makes themselves into the victim when they get caught. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. Now it's, she made me do it. We all heard that saying before. She made me do it. She made me do it. And she would have just shut up. Turkey said, bro had his whole life to hold his kids if he didn't beat down his lady. Right, exactly. Exactly. Women abusers are the biggest cowards on the planet. This guy is a poster boy of that. Yeah, I agree. I definitely do agree. Because they just turn, excuse my French, where's Miss Joanne at? Miss Joanne, I love you. Forgive me. But they really just turn like a whole bitch once they get caught and there's no way out and they have to actually deal or face the fact that they're a monster and why they did it. They turn into a whole bitch after that. Like, it's all of a sudden all the quote unquote masculine just go right out their motherfucking body. It's insane. Did you have sympathy or empathy hurting her crying like, yeah, exactly, Bama. Exactly. It would be stupid if the cops to let him anywhere near those kids, seeing what he just did to their moms, potentially creating a hostage situation. Yeah, they're definitely going to let you do that. Come on, right? Exactly. It would be foolish now, especially since now it's been confirmed that those bruises did not, was from him. Also, this situation occurred when both the children was in the house present. Then also the sister informed them that he has coached and groomed the children already to not speak to the police or not talk to them and all the stuff like that. And it would be really foolish because the way how he's acting so desperate and out of control and spiraling out of control, he would be the type of person that would be like, snatch the kids, lock himself in the room, and threaten to say, if you don't let me go, I'm going to hurt these kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would be that type of person. So it wouldn't make sense for them to bring him near his kids. No, like that ship has sailed, buddy. That ship has sailed. Definitely has sailed. Let's see. Kids hostage. Right. It's a sad cycle. It is. Luna said you are all right. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's usually passed down. His dad type situation happened in my family. Yeah, it is. It's like I said, it's passed down as in, if this is something that you was brought up in, right? It's just okay to have those type of arguments or those type of physical altercation between the parents in the house, the step parents, or even, it can even be siblings, right? It can even be the grandparents. If you're seeing that and you grow up in that, you really start to believe that this is normal, because this has been a part of your daily life, your daily routine of you seeing and hearing and learning how to cope around that situation, to the point where sometimes you get numb and then you take on the same type of traits. Hey, Mr. Bot, how are you? How you doing? Happy Sunday. Sebastian said, those kids are definitely going to need counseling. Yeah, I agree. Also heard corrupt minds too. Yeah. Yeah. Brucey said, all too often boys especially will treat their wife the way the man in his mom's life treats her. Also, how his mom treats the man in her life, he will duplicate both. Yeah, I agree. That does happen. It does happen. So we have to be mindful, right? So let's hear what Bitch Made Tom has to say next. Sorry, Miss Joanna, cursed again. My apologies.
I'm not uncuffing you and having you put your arms around your children. It's not going to happen.
Since Tom was still being uncooperative, Lieutenant Ward asked Sergeant Johns to transport him to the county jail. During the 15-minute drive, Tom threw a temper tantrum in the backseat of the cruiser, alternating between fake crying and lashing out at the sergeant.
You won't listen to me. Nobody will.
I am listening. Listen, we have to ride to the county jail, and I will listen to you.
Yeah, but all the things that I'm telling you I need for my evidence, you're going to destroy, because people are going to be in my house. You're not going to get it all. I've offered to give it to you, and I've tried to talk to you, and you guys just make a mockery of me. Is it not good enough that I'm trying to talk to you? Is it not good enough that I called for services? Is it not good enough that I tried to give you information?
It's honestly, Tom.
From nobody. I didn't do nothing. I didn't create no problems. The only thing I asked for was to give me a moment so I could calm down and counsel my kids and get some.
When someone needs help and you want to give us a box of papers, that's no good.
You know there's nothing in my house that's going to save her. There's nothing in my house that's going to save her.
What happened to her? You were there and we weren't. And if someone could tell me what happened in your house before I got there, and I could pass it on to the doctors, it might make the difference between her living and dying. So I don't want to talk about boxes of papers. So why don't we talk about what happened to her so we can help the doctors understand what's going on, so they can develop a plan to help treat her and try to get her to live.
I'm not a doctor. What do you want me to tell you that's going to save her life?
What caused her injuries?
To save her life.
What caused her injuries? You can tell me what caused her injuries is a great start.
Me and her.
What does that mean?
That means just what I said. It means me and her. I told the 911 dispatch. She said she wasn't feeling good, and she passed out. She quit breathing.
So how did her face get all like that?
Change the subject on me.
No, I'm saying, you said...
Change the subject on me.
Okay.
At one point, Tom realized he needed a new strategy, so he began begging the sergeant to pull over and give him his undivided attention.
please pull over here.
I'm not going to pull over. I can hear you just fine. There's no reason I have to stop to be able to listen. I can listen and drive.
But you're gonna miss the most important things for me.
But yet you said nothing yet.
I tried to tell you, but you won't listen.
However, when Tom didn't get his way, he threw another temper tantrum.
My ears are wide open. You just ain't saying nothing.
You asked me what was in the boxes, and I told you lots of things, and then you turn around and mock me like, "Oh, well, that's how that's gonna save her." Yeah, right.
You don't care one bit about her. You could care less.
No, I don't care about a thing about you because you don't treat me like a human.
The doctors want to know about her injuries.
I tried to tell you what caused her injury.
I don't listen good. Tell me again. My ears are open.
No.
The mother of your children is in the hospital fighting for her life. She needs somebody.
I'm not a doctor.
Okay, and you won't even help. You won't even say what.
I'm not a cop.
You won't even say what happened.
Saying what happened ain't gonna change nothing, and it ain't gonna save her life. What more do you want from me? I'm not a doctor. I'm a criminal.
That was easy.
That's how you treat me anyway. I'm done talking to you because you don't do nothing but treat me like a fool.
Well.
This guy is a, sorry, Miss Joanne, I'm about to curse. I'm about to cuss. This man is a whole piece of shit. He is a whole piece of shit. He doesn't even care about the wife. In fact, he is hoping that she does not make it. That is all tactic to say, hey, pull over and let me tell you the biggest part or the most important part. And the most important part to you is not why you whooped upside her head or anything, or it's not that, you know what, I hit her with something that I shouldn't have hit her with. No, the most important part is to talk about whatever was in the boxes that got you, triggered to the point where you had an argument where you decided to go whoop, 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 whoop upside your wife. He doesn't even care. And then you could tell he's having, he's having a whole like split personality type of situation going on right now. 1 minute is, you don't treat me like a human and let me talk to you and all this stuff. And it's like, no, I don't care. I don't want, you're not listening to me. I'm not a doctor. So no matter if I was to tell you any information, it's not going to help her right now. I need to preserve this information to protect myself. That is crazy. But he really wants people to believe that this was a argument that led to a fight, a physical fight between him and his wife, and he accidentally went too far. He wants them to believe that's what happened, because when he asked him, what did he say? He said, who did that to their wife? Oh, it was me and her. Really? You dumb fuck? You really want us to believe that she was hitting herself? She punched herself in the eye and made her eye swollen. She broke her own teeth. She put all those black and bruise on her own body. Huh? This is what you, like, you couldn't even take ownership of what you did to her without including her in it. You know what that tells me? You are full on fucking sociopath. You're a sociopath. You are a full-on narc. You are so more concerned about you, even though you know that all the evidence leads to you and points to you. But it's her fault. He already tells his mindset. It's her fault. It's our fault. She made me do it. It's her fault. But, oh my God. I can't stand individuals like this. I really, really can't. Toby said that dude is actually miserable. Yeah, he wasn't miserable enough to leave. Yeah, Brucey, I agree. And if he was miserable, he should have left if that was the case. But I don't even think that that's the case. He's just been having his way for a certain time. He has gotten really comfortable putting hands on her like he owns her, and he went too far, and now he wants to cry like a fucking kid because she could possibly lose her life for this time. And nobody's going to save him. Nobody's going to save him. Brucey said it started as a black eye here and there, and this is what it escalated to. Yeah, and it always will. It always will, guys. This is what people got to understand. It's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. I had a friend back in my 20s, God rest her soul. She lost her life due to domestic violence from her husband, right? And we did everything we possibly could. Called the cops on him, helped remove her from the house. She went back because all he had to do is say, I am sorry. I will never do that again. Please come home to the kids and all that stuff like that. And then she went back to him. And we told her, please leave, because if you don't leave, you're going to lose your life. It's only going to escalate. Please leave this man. We will help you. I will put you up. You can stay with me. You can go stay with family, whatever. We did everything. Me and my other friend, we did everything we can to save this friend. What happens? He unalived her a week before her birthday. Shot her 3 times in the head while their kid was in the house. It only gets worse. It's never going to get better. It's going to keep on going up, 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 and up. One minute, he's just calling you out your name. Next minute, he's calling you out your name in front of your friends. Next minute, he's calling you out your name in front of your family members. He does not even your family members put the fear in his heart anymore about how he treats you. Then all of a sudden, he want to put his hands on you in public. Then all of a sudden, he wants to isolate you from your friends and your family members. Now you can't go outside. Now is a problem with how you dress. Now is a problem when you're on the phone. All these kind of things. And it always leads up to this point where something happens like this. It's terrible. It's truly, truly, truly terrible. Let's see. The relationship probably started off good, like most relationships do, until the true version of him came out. Yes, Sebastian, that's usually how it happens. It makes it hard to believe that some of that personality didn't come out. That sense of red flags, but then again, drugs can change people over time too. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people say that there are signs, right? But there are hidden signs, right? There's things like, for example, unless you're really paying attention, you don't see the difference between someone who's actually confident and someone who's cocky, right? There's a slight difference between knowing how looking at somebody or how they act or even how they speak, where they say, okay, this person is confident about himself, and whoa, this person is a cocky son of a, and that is the split difference. Also, when it comes down to a person who is, how can I put it? They're dangerous, right? They like to put their hands on people and stuff like that, right? Let's say, for example, if you're a woman and you meet a guy and another guy was aggressive with you. Let's say you was at a club or something. Another guy is aggressive with you and they pulling you on your arm. The guy who comes over and be like, yo, chill, you look at him automatically as super save a hoe, right? Oh, look at him. He knows how to treat a woman. He helped me because this guy was being aggressive. You don't know sometimes that the guy who is the one who saved you in that moment is the guy who's going to be popping you up in your head later on because he just saw how you reacted when someone was aggressive with you. You didn't do anything. You went along, or you were just like very passive. Then he's sitting up there eyeing you like, oh, okay, this is how she acts. She's not going to really do anything. So I'm going to position myself in as I'm the good person, but really I know how she moved now. I already studied her. So if I do go to that level, I'm going to get away with it because I already seen how she acted with the other person. This is how people are. And people who have predator mindsets, this is how they think. This is how they be watching and observing people. Predators watch and observe everything. Interactions with other people, everything, you name it. Let's see. Mr. Boss said, I have never seen MJ so angry at a criminal. Oh, I've been angry at a lot of criminals. I know you haven't been here that long, Mr. Bob, but like I get even more angry with people who harm children. That really does bother me. That really, really, really does bother me. And Brucey said, I'm sorry, MJ. Thank you. I appreciate that, Brucey. Oh my God, rest in peace to your friend. I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. So sad. It truly hurts my heart. Yeah, it is sad. It's really sad. That's his tactic to get you to trust them. Right. Exactly. Exactly. All right. Let's go on.
You'll have to think about that.
Well, what? I'll have to think about it? You guys have the burden of proof.
Thankfully, everything was caught on body cam, so there was plenty of proof that Tom was being difficult instead of trying to help his dying wife. The argument continued for 10 more minutes until they finally arrived at the police station.
You'll have a chance to talk to the detectives, Tom. Good evening. Thomas Grayley is going to be placed in a holding cell by himself until he's interviewed by a detective.
Okay.
While Tom was being booked into the jail, the kids were finally starting to open up back at the crime scene.
You said your mommy had the wrap on her. I saw that. But I also saw like the black and blue marks. What happened?
Did he hit her with something, or what did he hit her with?
Part of the BB gun.
Part of a BB gun?
Part of a BB gun? Where is that BB gun?
Do you know where that is?
I think these are in
don't touch it.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it. When did that? Was that today?
I think it was last night.
Last night?
The kids said that Tom's abuse was nothing new and Nicole was constantly injured. Because of this, her health had been slowly declining, to the point that she could no longer walk on her own.
I know last time I was out here, I gave her a hug. I was getting ready to leave, and she whispered in my ear, please don't leave. He's going to kill me.
After bringing Lieutenant Ward up to speed on everything the kids had told them, they were free to leave with their Aunt Juanita.
Thank you.
The investigators now believed they had enough evidence to prove Tom attacked Nicole, so they charged him with second-degree felony assault. At this point, Nicole's fate was still uncertain. She successfully made it to the Geauga Hospital intensive care unit, but remained completely unresponsive. Along with the visible injuries noted at the crime scene, Nicole also had several fractures to her ribs, face, and skull, as well as a lacerated spleen and liver. Her condition was only getting worse, so once the weather cleared up, she was transferred to a hospital in Cleveland for better treatment. Before confronting Tom again, Lieutenant Ward interviewed his inner circle, hoping to gather more evidence for an attempted murder charge. Tom's parents confirmed that Tom and Nicole's relationship wasn't very healthy, but they never saw this coming.
I mean, I've never seen him hit her. We both know that he has smacked her. He's told never again, don't let us see it, don't let us hear about it. But anything like this, God, we had no clue.
He's a control freak. He has to be in control of everybody.
I know, I'm just trying
It
to
seemed
get
that
better
everybody
at
in
it, Joanne.
Tom's
You
life
holding me
knew just how toxic he was. Even his closest friend Paul wasn't willing to vouch for him.
You had indicated that you've been friends with Thomas Grayley since elementary school.
Junior high, sixth, seventh grade.
I mean, it sounds like you were probably closer
than anybody else. Than anybody else. I mean, in all reality, which is, I guess, why I feel so guilty. He called me on the 25th in the morning, and I went out there, and Nikki was beat up.
And you said that was the 25th of October.
Yeah. It looked like she'd been punched in the nose, is what it looked like, because right here was all black and blue, and then I was like, what the f*** is going on?
Right.
You know, and then we went outside because I wasn't going to stand there and talk in front of the kids. He told me he punched her. Okay. He told me he punched her. He told me he did that.
The more people the lieutenant spoke to, the more clear it became that Tom's pattern of abuse had gone on for several years and had escalated exponentially over the past few months, ultimately leading to Nicole's demise. The question was, would Tom ever admit this? The answer quickly became clear as Tom fell into the same narrative that he was pushing the day before.
I tried to be as honest with you as I could.
I don't want that, Brucey.
And you just pretty
You
much
don't keep that one under
took
wrap.
me for a joke.
No, I didn't take you for a joke.
You took me for a joke. I asked you to take me in the house, and I would give you everything I could to help you out.
In exchange for hugging your kids. You either want to discuss how Nicole sustained her injuries, and how she has bruising all over her body that's in various stages of healing. How she ended up with a lacerated spleen.
Sir, I don't want to argue with you. I don't want to give you a hard time.
Okay. Well, my question to you directly is, how did Nicole sustain the injuries this year?
And I'm not talking to you about the question.
Okay. Well,
here's my problem, sir.
This interview's done. Okay.
Detective, can you listen to me?
No, I'm not going to. You're talking circles. I've got a search warrant to collect your DNA. That's your copy.
Everything that I say or do will be used against me in a court of law. And it doesn't matter what I say or do. My words are twisted around and
I don't need to say anything. Nicole's injuries speak volumes. Okay.
Sir, I tried to help you. I told my children
you
not.
Tried nothing.
I didn't try nothing. That's why I tried to give you boxes, paperwork, right?
I'm tired of hearing about paperwork. Unless the boxes.
This dude is a trip. He is a whole. He's a piece of shit. I'm sorry. He's a real. Listen, I got the green light, so I'm gonna use it while I can. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna use it while I can. But yeah, he's a whole fucking trip. He's a piece of shit, piece of garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's literally trying to control the interrogation. He doesn't want to answer any of the questions that they want to ask him about what happened about that night. He just wants to give them his story as into why he believed that it was okay for him to do what he did to his wife. He's talking about papers and boxes. What? Did she want to divorce you? Good. She should want to divorce someone who been going oops upside her head, punching on her, kicking on her, and stuff like that. Why should she want to stay married to you, you pathetic human being? Like, what are you talking about? But he wants to talk about that. Like, if that's going to be, oh, the detectives in them is going to be like, yeah, man, these bitches be getting on our nerves, man. Sometimes you just got to go, these bitches, man, they just be getting out of line. They just be getting out of line. Sometimes you're going to have to just, and I'm like, dude, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. You don't even have any marks on you. So you can't even say that this was a mutual combat. You can't even say it was mutual combat. You don't got no scratches, you don't got no blood, you don't got no scab wounds, you don't have anything. It's just her. Her whole body is covered with old and fresh wounds. The fact that her spleen is lacerated, like, how did that even happen? Did you have to kick her? Like, you kicked her that hard? You split her spleen? Like, what is going on here? Like, you were just literally using this woman as your whooping post. Like, anything that was going wrong with you or any way how you felt, you just beat it on her to take that anger out on her. And that's what it shows. So yes, you are literally wasting this detective time. I don't even know why they want to even continue to talk to you, because again, you think you're still in control and you're not. Control is over. When you had control willingly by your wife, you took advantage of it. You took advantage of it. You used it in a twisted, disgusting way. You don't have control in this situation anymore. You either cooperate or they're done. They have enough to throw your ass in jail for a very long time. And if now this assault turns into a death, which will be a second-degree murder charge, the fuck? Nobody give a fuck about you at this point. You know what should have happened? Maybe your daddy and your mama should have taught you better. The fact that they even admitted that they knew that you have slapped her before and your daddy ain't beat the shit out of you, saying that you don't represent me and you don't represent the men in my house in this way because I don't do that to your mama, right? There's a problem there. The fact that they were even okay with that, that's ridiculous. Insane. Let's see. Rebel said there is no excuse. A man doing that to a female, I don't give a fuck what he say. I agree, Mama. I definitely agree. Sebastian agrees with you too. He said, I agree, but the notion goes for both men and women. I do too. It does. I don't believe women should put their hands on anybody either. Men as all. No, absolutely not. Two things can be true at the same time. Yep. Let's go on. He's a piece of shit. So like I said, he just wants to control the situation. He wants to tell them his story in a way where he seemed like he was a victim and she forced him to break her jaw, hit her in the head, swole her eyes. This is what he wants to narrate it. It's insane that he thinks that he's going to get away with this.
The paperwork has to do with the confession. I'm not overly concerned about the box of paperwork. Can I get some water, please? You want a pop? What's that? In a cup? Can't drink it out of the bottle? I'm not gonna. You can have this pop. I'm not gonna run out and get you a.
Oh my God.
While Tom sobbed over not getting a cup for his drink, the detective outlined Nicole's extensive list of injuries once again.
Unless they're falling from a 10-story building, somebody's not going to get a lacerated spleen or liver and fractures and broken ribs. If I stand up and fall down right now, I'm not going to sustain those types of injuries. You provided no assistance whatsoever in trying to clarify what happened with Nicole. You say you love her, but your actions say something different.
Can we keep our words simple, please?
What was difficult to understand?
A lot of things are difficult to understand.
All right, I'm not going to keep going. You're bouncing around.
I'm not bouncing around. I'm confused.
Okay.
Can you get your piece of paper and write something for me?
No.
Here, let me get your piece of paper and write something, please.
Nope.
I want you to think about it, please.
What do you want me to write?
I don't know. I was going to have to take a second to think about it.
Okay.
Seeing the walls closing in on him, Tom revealed that he was actually the victim here, and Nicole was the abuser all along.
Nicole has lied to me and manipulated me and made me forget portions of my life. I was going to try to help you.
You're saying that she manipulated you and lied to you. Is that when you kick her ass?
Or did she kick her own ass?
I think
Or did she kick her own ass? Because I will be asking.
You can say whatever you want to say. Her injuries tell a different story. Her injuries speak volumes.
What do you? But I don't understand what you meant by that.
Well, you don't seem to understand much of anything. You're not going to control this. You're not going to control this interview like you controlled Nicole.
Sir, I have been as honest with you as I can. Yes, I have. I told you.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you? And literally the interrogator said the exact same thing I said verbatim, he said to him. Because that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to control the story. He's trying to control the interrogation. We're not going to talk about anything of the things that I did to her. I want to tell you how manipulative, how cruel, how evil this woman is. And everything that I did to her is because she was doing this, so I am justified. But we're not going to talk about how she sustained any of her injuries because that's beside the point, because she initially started it. And the interviewer is getting fed up. The interviewer is here to hear with his BS. He's here with his BS because how 1 minute you going to act like a pussy or a punk with your fake whining, your fake crying, and then also want to navigate and control the conversation. Nobody gives a damn about what was in the motherfucking paperwork in the box. That's not what they're here for. Okay? He's not your lawyer. He's not dealing with divorce court scenarios. He's here wondering, why is your wife fighting for her life right now? Why is she fighting for her life? And you know you're the only reason and the only person who can answer that question. And you are literally acting like you're in the fucking Matrix, dodging the motherfucking question when they already have the evidence. So if my whole thing is, if that's the case, then why even continue to try to have the conversation with him? Why don't you just say, you know what? I want a lawyer. I want a lawyer. There's other things you don't know about. Let me go get a lawyer. I don't want to have this conversation with you about what happened that night. You should end the interrogation. But no, you're not, because you're clearly trying to deal. You're trying to make a deal with them. You're trying to be like, no, listen, I will give you all the information you want, but I have to tell you this first, and this needs to be explained first. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. You answer the questions that they're asking you. You know that she sustained injuries. You know that you was present. You know that it was you. You know that she didn't get that just from falling down the stairs or falling off a ladder or wherever she fell at in the house. She don't sustain those type of wounds. She don't get a swollen eye from falling. You know that, but you want to literally skip all over that like a fucking narc and just only focus on what the hell you want to focus on. And that is literally painting her as Eveline. My whole point is, the fact is, if all of this was let's say this was an accident. Mind you, y'all know I don't believe it was an accident. Like, hell no. Punching somebody's eye swollen ain't no motherfucking accident, okay? Breaking someone's fucking jaw and their teeth ain't no motherfucking accident. And all the other bruises that she sustained, it isn't an accident. But let's say if it was an accident, why didn't you call 911? You only called 911 because she was non-responsive and you was afraid there. That was the only time that you was afraid, because when she was non-responsive and you throwing water on her face, she didn't get up and shoot back up. Then you was like, oh shit, now I have to call 911, but now I have to let them know that, it was just a fall. And look, our family, we're scared, and I need to be with the kids, and I need to console my kids and all the shit like that. But you would have assisted help. You would have got help initially if she went non-responsive or anything. If it was an actual fall, you would have called 911. You would have done CPR. You would have done anything. You didn't do nothing. In fact, you was just walking around fucking with no shirt on, minding your business, and then you was trying to fake a goddamn fucking asthma attack on the cops. Like, child, excuse my language, guys. I know I'm cussing a lot, and I apologize. But he got me all the way fucked up right now. Like, seriously. Cry me a river and I'll piss you a stream, dude. Right, Bama. Right. And didn't become like that in my 4 kids. Right. I'm glad you didn't, Bama. I'm glad, because that was a horrible situation that you had to go through. Yeah, that comes from massive trauma. Only way the spleen is getting injured. Right, exactly. Severe trauma, right. Why doesn't he have any injuries, though? He must have used a weapon, bat, stick, something. His hands would have done kind of wound unless he wore a leather glove. Right, so he must have used some form of object. That's what the child said. One of the child point. Oh, matter of fact, he used the gun. He said that the child said he used the butt of the gun to hit her. That's where her blunt force trauma came from. With the spleen being split, he kicked her. He probably kicked the shit out of her, right? Yeah, but he doesn't have any abuse of injuries or anything on her because she wasn't fighting him. This is something that he always did. He went oops upside the head when they had an argument. She didn't see eye to eye, or she even she stood up for herself, or she didn't agree with something that he wanted or whatever. He always used her as a punching bag. Because he ain't taking any injuries. Right. Sebastian said, this is a textbook how a abuser acts right here. Yes, it is, Sebastian. It definitely is. Definitely is. Textbook 101 of a pure abuser. Now, all of a sudden, they're the victim. And the person made them do it. And there it is. Him claiming him the victor, literally insanity. Right. Right. Let's go on. But like I said, he's trying to control the interrogation. He's now gaslighting. He is we can tell right now he's an unstable, full-on narc. It's all about him. He doesn't even, right now to this day, he doesn't even care about his wife. He doesn't care if his wife lives or dies. In fact, it would be better for him if the wife dies, because he's convinced that he has already groomed and conditioned his children enough that they would not betray him and tell the things that he doesn't want them to tell. And he also thinks that his parents and his sister didn't tell those things either, because he feels that he has them conditioned well too. Well, we're closer in blood, you know what I'm saying? I'm your child, I'm your brother. You wouldn't turn on me, you wouldn't turn me in, that's what he's banking on.
I can't even understand 10 years of my life. How do I make you understand it in 5 minutes?
I'm done talking to you. I'm done.
Tragically, Tom
Hey,
never
Noah.
received a cup for his
How
soda.
are you
The
doing?
interview was
Happy
concluded,
Sunday.
and he was promptly brought back to his jail cell. A few days later, Nicole finally succumbed to her injuries. Her manner of death was blunt force trauma to the head. Nicole's death resulted in Tom's felony assault charges being upgraded to aggravated murder. Tom pled not guilty and was denied bond. While sitting in the Ashtabula County Jail awaiting his trial, he made a phone call to update his mom.
Hello, this is a free call from
Thomas Greeley.
What he didn't realize was that the investigators were listening in.
How are you?
They offered me 30 to life.
Oh, did they?
I'd be 16 years old after 30 years.
So you're going to trial then, right?
That's why some of the investigators starting to investigate.
All I'm going to say is you don't want them digging through your stuff.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's some things in there that nobody should see.
Like what?
Stuff that you wrote, just not good stuff.
Everybody clearly knows that I put my hands on Nikki, but nothing says that I beat the out of her.
You're not stupid.
Okay, well, they're going there. Like it or not, they're going there. So I guess you need to clean. They only have a certain amount of time to prosecute you, bring you to trial, but they're going there. So whatever you're so worried about everybody seeing, get it on.
Yeah, well, there's a burn pile there. We'll have a big fire.
After hearing these statements about destroying...
So from there, at this point, Mom Dukes is a culprit to me, because not only are you sitting up there saying, hey, listen, the stuff in the box, there's stuff in there that those detectives and guys should not see, meaning that he probably had wrote notes about him wanting to kill her, or he was going to kill her slowly, or even letters and notes of her writing down every time he hit her and beat her and everything like that. So when she would finally go and get away from him and bring him to court, she would have all that documentation, evidence in the journal, and not you sitting up there on a jail phone call telling him that he needs to get rid of all that stuff, and him instructing you to go over his house to clean that evidence prior to the investigators getting over there. Did I just hear what the fuck I just heard? Did I just hear it? Did I just hear what I heard? Now they sitting up there offering you 30 years. I hope they throw the fucking book at you. They take down your damn mama too, because now that means that they was well aware that you was going oops upside the head, and they were okay with it. She probably even went to them and said, hey, your son is doing that. And you were just like, well, you did marry him. This is what you signed up for. Let's not break up the family now. Family needs to stay together. The most important thing is the kids, right? Ooh, boy. Boy. 30 with the L, good. No, he needs, I would say, life, especially since she succumbed to her death. Succumbed to her wounds. Hey, Yoni, how are you doing? Happy Saturday. Shout out to Jersey. Luna said, talk about incriminating yourself. Right. Brucey said, now she's an accomplice. Yes, She is. Now she's an accomplice. You dumb fuck. Anyway, let's go on.
Evidence, the sheriff's office obtained a search warrant for Tom's home. None of the paperwork they found was bombshell evidence, but they did find Tom's phone, which blew the case wide open. On the phone, they discovered multiple videos that Tom recorded over the past 2 months where his horrifying abuse was on full display.
To everyone. You see, I touched Nicole a little bit with some cigarettes because I was trying to get Nicole to answer some basic questions about what's going on here, and she wouldn't say nothing to me. And I try to talk to her, and I try to love her, and I try to explain it. I just want to be 100% transparent because I think she's trying to set me the up. That even though she looks like she does, I'm trying to explain to her that there's a judgment coming. And if she thinks this is bad, wait until she gets to judgment, because I want to make it very clear. This is my boat, and I run this. And I just want to make it clear that I don't beat on Nicole. I don't beat on Nicole at all. I teach Nicole hard lessons out of love.
These videos, which Tom recorded himself, essentially guaranteed a conviction. Once he was evaluated by a psychiatrist and deemed competent to stand trial, he finally waved the white flag. He pled guilty to aggravated murder, and in October of 2022, he was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. He currently resides at Ohio's Richland Correctional Institution, a prison that's shape accurately represents guys like Tom. As for Nicole's children, they are now happily living with their grandparents.
That one pissed me all the way the fuck off. Excuse my French, but that one really did. The fact of the matter is, I'm glad he got 25 years to life. And I'm wondering, where are those kids? Okay. The kids are with the grandparents. I hope that the kids are with Nicole's grandparents and not his grandparents. Keep those kids away from that grandmother who was going to aid and obey this dude with trying to get rid of information before the investigators get to the house. No, absolutely not. That shit was ridiculous. And then he's such a dumbass. You were so gleeful about your abuse to your wife that you have made this is how big your fucking ego was and how narcissistic you was. You videotape yourself abusing her and then say, oh, I'm not abusing her. I'm just teaching her hard lessons. Hard lessons as in, if she doesn't want to answer a fucking question, she don't have to fucking answer a question. So you take fucking a cigarette and you burn her fucking skin because she doesn't want to answer you. And he really thought and that's how psychotic he was. He really thought that was reasonable. And then he said, oh, she must not be answering me because she's trying to set me up. How the fuck can she set you up if you're the one who's committing the crimes? You're abusing her. You are taking your initiative to put your hands on her. She's not telling you, yeah, hit me, and say cheese for the camera. She's not doing that. You're literally videotaping yourself doing things to her. But she's trying to set you up because you don't know how to keep your hands to yourself. I hope those kids are getting the counseling that they deserve. I hope that they are with Nicole's family and not his parents or the aunt that was going over there every single day, apparently, and seeing that she was abused up and down and wasn't doing anything about it. And prayers to Nicole for losing her life. It's hard. That's sad and it's hard. It's terrible when things like this happen. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think he needs to see Billy or Bubba. Go see Billy and Bubba in jail and try doing all that hitting and all that shit to Bubba in jail. I hope he has that type of situation happen to him. Seriously. Let's see. Which to say, yes, there's a judgment coming, dude, and I would hate to be you. I agree. Haha, that shape design isn't an accident. No, I agree. Yeah, I think they made it that way. Brucey said, I don't want Jesus anymore mad at me than he already is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, keep those kids far away from that family as possible. That whole family seemed messed up and messed up. Yeah, and they're okay with abuse. They are okay, or they are okay with abuse. Joanne said this one was hard. 25 years, he should have been sentenced to life. Well, he did get 25 years to life. So after 25 years, he has the opportunity to petition to petition to get parole or to be let go. But if he catches any other crimes or charges while he's in jail, he'll stay longer. Or if he his appeal gets denied, he'll stay longer, or he'll stay in limbo in jail, which I'm hoping that does happen. All right, good folks. I have one more case for you. Thank you so much for rocking out with me. I try to come as early as possible because I know it's a Sunday and everybody has to get ready for the Monday for the new work week, as well as myself. I have to go back to becoming camo Barbie, right? So it is what it is. Just make sure you're hitting the like button for me. Truly appreciate it. Or hit the down button if you don't like it. Share this out to anyone who's interested in this type of immersive commentary about these cases. And if you have any cases that you would like me to review on this channel, go ahead and put it down in the comment section at the end of the live. I always look at my comment section, and I would truly appreciate it. So last but not least, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. I have a case about a teen. A teen realized that his murder was caught on camera. Unfortunately, this teen might have been involved in his mom's death. And I found it very interesting. I wanted to see what happened and how it played out. So we're going to take a look at it. Like I said, trigger warning. If you don't want to watch this, I don't like really looking at things that have anything to do with teenagers or children. That's just like a pet peeve for me. But this is the world that we live, and we have to watch these things, okay? All right, let me go ahead and pull this up, and then we will get into it. All right, I hope y'all can see my screen. And here we go.
This is 17-year-old Carlos Hallowell, and he has just told the detectives that he walked into his mother's bedroom, and he discovered that she had been murdered with an axe while she slept.
Okay, my mother and I came back from the funeral, had lunch together, we had pie together, and the last time I saw her was around 2:30, 3. We both went to our separate rooms to take our naps for the day, which is what we normally do. And then about a couple hours later, I don't remember the time, I hear barking from my side of the house, which is abnormal. Our dogs are supposed to be in that little fenced-in area. So I walk out to the front door. My mom's door is closed as always, but she does let the dogs out every now and then while she's taking a nap to just let them go to the bathroom. So the front door was wide open. I figured she might have forgotten to close it. I looked outside. Our dog, the 2 green gates that you guys walked through, completely open. So went to go find the dogs, checked around the property, looking for them. I couldn't find them, so I went to go wake my mom up to help me find them, and then I found her there.
So when you guys normally take spaces, do your naps, you guys don't talk to one another?
No, it's very common for us. We just like to have our own time throughout the day, because we do bicker and argue when we spend too much time together. So we've learned how to cope with it and just give ourselves space, and we get along fine.
Did you guys bicker, argue, anything today?
No, today was fine. Completely normal day. In fact, it was a really good day. We got pie. That was a special treat.
When you guys do bicker, what do you guys bicker about?
It's small things, school, getting a job, or when I'm gonna see my girlfriend too much. Just small things, just like that. It wasn't any big fights or anything like that. It was just back and forth.
When was the last time you and your mom got into an argument?
A while ago. I couldn't even tell you when. We've been fine since I moved back into the house.
You moved out?
I did. For a period of time, my mom was really upset with me because I wasn't following the path of school and everything, so she told me if I didn't get my act together, she'd ask me to find somewhere else to live for a little bit until I got my stuff together, and then I eventually did.
When a murder takes place, detectives will usually look at the people closest to the victims, then work their way out. The first thing they look for is motive, and Carlos has just given them exactly that.
The same things have gotten better between you two?
Yes, definitely. My mom and I have...
Yeah, so far it seems that him and his mom wasn't on good terms. Even though he's trying to paint the scenario of when they found his mom in that state, that day everything was great, everything was fine. They were just hanging out with each other, and they have this understanding that they can't be around each other all day because she'll start nagging and bickering. So they'll go to their separate rooms, and everything is all right. But this is not the first time I guess an argument have happened. She has been worrying about his schoolwork, him hanging out with his girlfriend or partying with his friends too much, and even to the point where she had to kick him out of the house. Like, if you can't abide by my rules, then you can no longer stay here. So I'm looking at his mannerism as of right now. I can see that he's nervous, but I'm not necessarily seeing anything that is leading out to being forthcoming or he's trying to lie. Not with his body language as of yet. The swinging around is a nervous reaction. People like to swing. Sometimes they like to shake their leg, things of that sort. Soothing mechanism. That's how they can cope when things when anxiety starts to build up in them. I do want to mention that this is a very small interrogation room. There's a reason why they have him not sitting across where he can look at the door, but actually adjacent to the door. And the reason why they have him positioned like that, because of his age, because he's a teen, they want to keep him calm as possible as they're just having a conversation with him about what he knows and that he's going to be free to leave. And it's better to do that by having the suspect be adjacent to the door, not like both of the detectives in front of the door, like he has to get through them to get to the door. You know what I'm saying? This keeps him more calm and the ability to be open, right? There's another reason why they don't have him, locked, cuffed to the table, or even that the chair is a little bit more comfortable than normal interrogation chairs, is because he is a suspect, but he's not a suspect per se. Right now, until they get more information from him, he's perceived as a witness that he came across his mom in that state. They have to believe that story until everything else comes out, meaning the toxicology report, the last exam from the coroner about what was her death. Was it exfoliation? Was it blood force trauma? Was it something in her system? They got to get all that first. You know what I'm saying? So he is considered a victim, until more information comes out right now. Let's see. Board Game Hell said interrogation. Let's go on.
Always had a very close bond, and a lot of people didn't really understand me and my mom, and we've been through a lot together. So, I mean, there's nothing I wouldn't do for her or anything. So, I just don't know what happened. I was completely confused. Doors were open. It was completely unusual, but her door was still closed. And then when I opened it,
what do you mean doors were open?
Front door, and then the gates were completely open. Which never supposed to be like that.
So what did you see when you walked into your mom's room?
It was our axe in the side of my mom's, and I could still hear her trying to breathe.
You say you had a strange relationship with your mom and your friends didn't understand it. What you mean about that?
Well, my mom and I, the way we.
All right, so now we understand how he found his mother. He found a axe. Now this is when my accent works for me. He found a axe in his mother's head in her room. He also explained to the detectives that the front gates was open and the front door was open. He said that that never happened. So now his story is leading to someone coming into his house and harming his mom. The only problem with that story is they're going to check for footprints. They're going to check for fingerprints. If there's no other person's fingerprints on the door except you and your mom's, if there's no other footprints in the house except you and your mom's, right? If they can't find any form of other DNA except yours on the axe or even on your mom's body, then a lot of your story, your initial story, doesn't make sense. And then my thing is, what made you, or I guess what led you to go out there and to check up on your mom? Because he haven't said like, oh, my room is like kind of upstairs. I can't really hear anything downstairs or anything. And my mom stays on the first floor, like near the kitchen or something like that. And I was just going out of my room to go get something to drink. And then that's when I noticed that the front door was open. And then I looked outside to see if she was outside, seeing that the gates was open. I thought that was weird. Her room door is normally closed, but this time it was cracked open. I went and checked in and said, "Hey, Mom." That's not what he said. So he haven't even told us what made him initially just be like, you know what, let me just go downstairs and go check and see how my mom doing or anything like that. Because he said he didn't even hear any noise. I haven't heard him say, oh, I heard a large thump or a bang or a cry or a scream. You would have heard that. If she got hit or whacked with an axe, you're going to hear that. You know what I'm saying? You're going to hear that, or you're going to hear a scream or something. And then it's his whole mannerism now telling the story is not of a child who's mourning his mom's death, which is very alarming. He's not consolable, right? You know, he's not like inconsolable. Like he's acting like he's having a job interview talking to these detectives. That's giving me a lot of Psycho vibes, because he doesn't really have any emotions. And we're talking about his mom, and then we're talking about the type of state that his mom was in, and he's just seems like he's really having a job interview at this point. He doesn't seem like a distraught child who saw their mom in a gruesome, horrible way, which is throwing off real red flags. And who knows? Maybe he's doing it. Maybe he feels that if he stays calm and he doesn't sound irrational, that he'll be more believable about his narrative of what he saw. Or he's just a psychopath and he doesn't feel any way about it. But we will go on. King Kamikaze said he's leaving something very important out. Yes, he is. He definitely is. But let's go on.
Showed each other affection was odd to some of my friends. It was just the way we interacted with each other. Like, we would go days without speaking to each other, and then one day we'd be like, yo, you want to go watch a movie or something? And then we'd go watch a movie. That was just us being us.
What do you mean by affection, though?
Like, it just, every now and then we'd say I love you or something like that, or just a fist bump. Like, a lot of my friends, they were like, oh, we tell my mom I love you every night. We see her all the time, blah, blah, blah. Well, we weren't really like that. My mom and I were just independent people. She liked to have her own space. I like to have my own space, and we just met when we did. And whenever we felt like we wanted to just kind of hang out with each other, we did. And we made it work. It's been amazing for 13 years.
There's nothing wrong with that, right?
No. It's,
I don't know why your friends thinking that's strange about it.
Well, they don't. They just think that that's not correct affection or something like that. I don't know.
After talking about his relationship with his mother, the detectives move on to the elephant in the room. Who killed Carlos's mother and why?
So let's talk about your mom. Yeah. Obviously, you know, we're not looking at an accidental situation here, right?
No.
Somebody put an axe in the back of her head. Who would have done that?
I don't know anybody who would have done that. All my mom's close friends, anything would be people at church. This is the only people that I know.
She don't have any enemies?
Not that I know of. She kept to herself. So
You guys are kind of out there in the middle.
Yeah, we're in
nowhere.
Yeah, we're in the middle of nowhere. We just keep to ourselves. We put signs up because we've had small intruders, and then we hear noises at night. So she just puts all that stuff up for safety.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
She hasn't had any problems with anybody?
Not that I know of. She also stays private from me as well.
You know, no boyfriends or anything? She had issues with boyfriends or?
Not that I know of. If she did, I didn't know about it.
When was the last time she ever had a boyfriend come over or anything like that? Ever did?
Never, not since I've been home. So I had no idea who would come into my house and do that. Because I didn't have any enemies. I got along with everybody. My mom didn't either. The whole church knew us. Everybody knows us.
So then what? You see her? What happened? What was your reaction? What was it that you was trying to...
But you didn't get along with everyone. You didn't get along with everyone. You didn't get along with your mom. You're the only enemy that she have, according to you. She went to church. She was a church-going woman. Everybody knew her around when she went out, you know, said nothing but pleasant things about her. You said that you was, you know, pretty much alone, you know, a loner by yourself, whatever not, it would just be you and her. And y'all had problems with people coming into your property, I guess, because where y'all located at is kind of a walk. It's not, you know, it's not that close to the rest of the community per se. So if that's the case, you don't know who would do that to your mom, and you know, putting an axe in someone's back of their head, that seems quite personal. I have always told y'all that stabbing individuals or things of that sort is a very personal act. You know, that means somebody had loathed or hate you, because it takes a lot of force to do that. It takes a lot of force to stab someone and all that stuff like that. It really does. It really, really does. So again, who else would do that? You said you don't know. You said that she doesn't have any enemy. You said that she doesn't have a boyfriend, or she never had a boyfriend since you've been home. You know, she never brought no man in the house. So there's nobody else that you can link to. So that only leaves you, because you was the only person that would be there in that house. You know, you're the only person that would be there in the house. I will say that he was trying to say that the fact that they live in a very, where they live is very isolated, and that they put like signs up for no trespassing and stuff. That was his way of trying to lead them on a wild goose hunt, that possibly they always had like small break-ins or people trying to break in and get into their home, and they had to put the gates up and stuff like that for protection, to lead the police to start looking that maybe it was somebody else. But all the evidence so far that I'm sure that the detectives and the cops have picked up and examined is all going to lead back to him. It's all going to lead back to the son. So let's see how this play out. Will he actually eventually tell the truth, or would he take the route of him having, you know, having a mental episode? Because I just see that down the pipeline. I'm only guessing at this point, but I do see it down the pipeline that he just had a mental episode, or maybe he might say that he was under the influence or something like of that sort, or maybe he might say that he has a history of sleepwalking or something like that. I do see that once the pressure start hitting on him saying some foolishness like that. But here we go.
Originally, I was shocked, but then I ran to her, shaked her a little bit, and then I could hear her breathing, and then I just started crying, yelling out, "Mom."
So have no idea, nobody.
No, that's
the thing. The gate in front was locked.
Correct. It wasn't locked. It's a
bungee cord.
The hooks. They're just hooks. They can be undone and done again in seconds. I just don't understand what happened and why I didn't hear anything. Because usually the dogs will bark at the slightest things, but I didn't even hear them bark. And if they did, I was sleeping.
So back door's locked, front gate's locked, back gate is locked.
After listening to Carlos tell his version of events, detectives are not convinced that a random person walked into Carlos's home and killed his mother with an axe. For the first time since the interrogation started, the detectives begin pointing their fingers at Carlos.
Carlos, how often do you think it is that somebody's sitting in their house taking a nap or anything like that?
And I'm sure they started thinking about that way before the video essay is said, that they were thinking of him as a suspect, because the fact that he said that the gates were closed, he says, well, they're not really closed because we have like this little stringy latchy thing, right? So they're not really closed. We just put something on it to like kind of keep it together. But technically, that means that they were closed. The fact that you have an animal or a dog and there was no barking, so that means that nothing alerted you or even alerted anyone or even your mother per se that someone was coming into the home. You have already expressed that it's only you and your mom, and the way how the location of her house is, I don't have that many company coming over. There's not like frequent foot travel or foot tracks coming in and out of your house. You don't even bring your friends and everything over to your house. You go out to go be with your friends. You go out to go be with your girl. So again, no one is in this house except you and your mom. You said that you went upstairs and you were sleeping. You didn't hear no dogs barking. You didn't hear no door open. You didn't hear no gate open. You didn't hear absolutely nothing. But your mom has an axe in the back of her head. And you really want these detectives to believe that it was just some random person, because your mom don't have any vendettas. Your mom don't have any enemies. She's not out there causing racket amok, stealing from anybody, nothing. This is a good Christian woman who has strict rules, and she wants the best for you as her son, and if you can't abide by her rules, you got to leave her house. But outside of that, she ain't starting no problems outside. She ain't doing none of that. So she has no reason for someone to personally attack her and kill her in that way, in that manner. And then you have to also think about it too. How would they know if she was in the room? How would they know that she's in the room? A random stranger. Let's say if a random stranger come in there, and let's say if they wanted to ransack. Let's say it was a ransack. They were doing a home invasion. The house would be all messed up, right? Everything would be turned over. They would be looking for jewelry, money, a safe, anything of that sort. Things broken, glass broken, all the stuff like that. You would have heard that. So we know that that didn't happen. It wasn't a home invasion. So again, if your mother's door is always closed, how would an invader know that she would be in her room? And then you mean to tell me that she didn't know, she didn't know or hear some random person running in her room? You didn't hear anything like, oh my God, nothing. No. And the reason why is because she was ambushed. She was probably laying down sleeping. You came in there. She felt that she didn't have nothing to worry about when you opened up the door, or if she heard you, right? And then you did that. You caught her off guard. You hit her from behind. You hit her from behind in her head. This boy is really giving psychopath vibes. He is really psychotic. He's really psychotic, and he doesn't even realize it, because in his mind he's like, I just need to just play it cool. I just need to play it cool. I'll be calm. It seems reasonable. I left the door open. I left her door open. My alibi was I was upstairs. Everything was fine. I said we was fine today. We was hanging out with each other today. Nothing happened. This is sad. This is really, really, really sad. I appreciate y'all making my job easy. Thank you for being respectful to our awesome host. Thank you, Brucey. I truly appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Situation, and some stranger comes in and kills them.
I don't know, but I will say this. I hope you're not insinuating I would do this. Because she adopted me from 4. She has been my mother, has been by my side.
What my inference is that rarely ever happens.
Okay.
That rarely ever happens, and what I'm trying to lead to is that 99.9% of the time, it's a family member or a close friend or
you don't know anybody
or a lover or something like that. Well, I mean, you got real defensive when thinking that I was accusing you of something.
Yeah, because that's what happened last time when I was talking to cops, is that they assumed with the DCF case. Mm-hmm. So I'm varied a little bit.
That's not the only time you've had conversations with cops.
Oh, no, definitely not. I've had way more. On the property, blah, 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 between my mom getting in fights and stuff like that. But
right. Not too long ago, you guys got into a little domestic, and the cops were called.
Domestic? Oh, no. My mom and I swear.
Oh, so the plot thickens. So DCF been called numerous of times because you was attacking and going oops upside your head or fighting with your adopted mother numerous of times. Numerous of times. But he's like, oh, no. We fixed everything. Everything is all okay. Everything's all right. You know, we just know that we just can't be around each other for a couple of hours. We can spend maybe an hour with each other, and then we have to go our ways, our separate ways, and be in our separate rooms and stuff, you know, because then she'll get to nagging or telling me what I'm going to do with my life and do with my future. And, you know, stop hounding me about when I spend time with my girlfriend. Stop hounding me about me being outside with my friends, and stop hounding me about, my grades. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as you just leave me alone, everything's fine. Lucy said, I've seen a lot of cases about adopted kids killing their parents. It happens more than you think. Yeah, but in this kind of situation, when I say the last couple of situations I've heard of adopted kids killing their parents, eventually when they talk and stuff, they'll say there was some form of abuse there, right? Some form of child neglect or child abuse that was going on, and then it just got to a point where they just couldn't take it anymore, and they reacted in that way. So far with him, it doesn't seem like his mom was unreasonable. He had already painted her, and this is why I said that he's psychotic, because he hasn't blamed her for anything. And normally individuals will always blame the victim, right? Or they'll try to paint the victim in a bad light. Oh, this person is horrible. Oh, this person do this, A, B, C, and D. They will always do that. He hasn't done that. He actually have painted his mother in a very decent light. And I think the reason why he did that is because he's leading on the fact of his initial story, that it was some random person that came in and put an axe to his mother's head. And I don't know why would anyone do that. So that's why I said he's giving me psychotic vibes. You know what I'm saying? He's really, really is giving me psychotic vibes. King said, I second that. Let's get the likes up, please. Show your girls some love. Yes, thank you. If you could, make sure you hit the like button for me. I truly, truly appreciate it. It really does help the channel. It keeps me in the algorithm. But don't even worry about it, because I know that it's Sunday and people are preparing, people are relaxing. Some people ain't for it today, and it's all good. It's all good, right? Just go back and watch it later on. Let's go on.
That out. That was completely gotten out of hand, and then my mom overreacted, I overreacted, and we talked about it after it happened and after I was out of the house.
Right. Was that before you left or after?
Before. And I wasn't doing well in school, and then we got into the argument, and then she shoved, I shoved, back and forth, stuff like that.
Right.
It wasn't anything physical. It was just like, get out of my face, you get out of my face, get out of my face. Because it just got yelling. It wasn't going anywhere.
Right.
The detective is about to bluff Carlos and tell him that his neighbors told the police that they had heard Carlos and his mother fighting earlier that day.
So what were you guys arguing about today?
We weren't arguing today.
The neighbors heard you guys arguing today.
About what?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you about.
What neighbors?
Which neighbors do you think?
Hey Jasper, how you doing?
Because we haven't argued at all
Happy
today.
Sunday. Welcome.
We were good. No, today we were all fine.
You weren't there very long.
No, we were there in the morning, and we were fine, and then we went to the funeral, which
Right.
everybody saw us there. We were fine, and then we went home, we were fine.
Was there any reason why you guys would have gotten loud about something? You got loud?
No, we weren't loud at all. This morning we were calm. She woke me up.
How about the afternoon?
No. There's no yelling whatsoever when we went to bed. It was just that. Today we were fine, like nothing.
Somebody had to come into that house and do what they did to your mom.
Okay. I can tell, I know that.
Right.
What I'm trying to say is, if I'm going to open a door, the dogs are there. They're going to go, they're going to sit there, go crazy and barking. Right. Like, explain that. If I'm going to open a door, I can't run that fast with the dogs.
I don't know. You guys are detectives. Aren't you supposed to figure this out? The doors are open on the side. The gate doors are open, so the dogs are everywhere. And the front door is still open. So I have no idea how it got there. I want to know how it got there, and I don't want to know why. I do not know. And I want to know. Because for some reason my dogs have been let out where they won't bark and won't do anything because they run off. As soon as they're out of that gate, they will run off because that is the only time they get outside of that gate, or else they're stuck in that gate. So I don't know what you guys are trying to get out of me right now, but I didn't do anything and would never do anything to my mother like that. As much as we used to bicker and get back at each other, fighting sometimes, and then peace, and then back and forth, and then peace.
This would be the time when I wish I had the meme, but I don't have it right now. But I would be like, why you always lying? You always lying. Oh my God. Stop and iron. Like seriously, I would play that right now if I had that. Because you're literally lying, my guy. And now you're trying to literally make it seem like the police let your dogs run out. And where's your dogs? It's funny because, like I said, you're not really that concerned about your mom. You still haven't really shown any emotions about your mom. You said that you love your mom. You said that you care about your mom. You know, she's the only mom that you ever known. You know, you're not acting normal. You're not acting normal as someone who lost a parent, especially losing in a gruesome way. Like when people, you know, grown adults, when they lose their parents, like myself, we be wild, we be wailing and crying like whole babies carrying on, right? Your mom was literally unalive by someone putting an axe in the back of her head, and you had to walk in and see your mom in that state, and you still are like, yeah, you know, I saw my mom and I was just like, oh wow. And then I just went over there and I went to go shake her. You know, I went to go shake her like, hey mom, wake up. Mom, wake up. And you know, my dogs though, but my dogs, somebody let the gate open, and that's the only time that the dogs go out. So I want to know who let the gate open, because the dogs went that way. Boy, man, listen. Today y'all were fine. Your problem went away and you eliminated your problem. Right, Bruce. Right. It's terrible. It's terrible. He's like, yeah, everything's fine. Everything's fine because, you know, she's not here anymore. So everything's fine. Today was great. It was perfect. It was a great day. Today was a good day. Right? Ice Cube, right? Let's go on.
Again, never. Never in a million years would I ever think to do that. She's my mom. I was adopted at age 4, and I've been with her forever. And if you're insinuating that, I'm very offended by that.
You're putting on a pretty good show.
A show?
Yeah, you're putting on a really good show.
A show?
Yeah.
How's this a show?
Because I remember the whole interviews with you back when all this went down.
You remember that?
Yeah, I was in charge of the Major Crimes Unit then.
Okay.
So, and I remember that CPT talking about how your attitude of things were very sociopathic.
Sociopathic?
Which is exactly what you're showing me right now. And you're trying to act like you're upset about something.
Trying?
Yeah.
Okay, how is this trying? That was my mom. My mother.
Yeah. Right.
Dude, you're not upset. The detective had hit it on right on the nail, right? But he is in fact upset. He's upset that you're questioning him. That's what he's upset about. You're questioning him. Even to the point where if he even gets the inkling where you're trying to direct it to him as him being a suspect, that's the only time we even got some form of emotion out of him. Not when it came down to even explaining the gruesome scene of the crime of how he found his mom. No emotion. The fact that potentially a stranger, a killer came into your house and he whacked your mom and he could have whacked you. Not scared, not alarming to you. Oh no, but your dog's being let out. You know, who let the dogs out? Woo, 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 woo. That's when we get a reaction from you, right? And now that you're now starting to look like a suspect, if you're insinuating that I would do that to my mom, I'm highly offended about it. Nobody give a fuck about you be highly offended. What are you talking about? You don't sit your little bird ass down, talk about I'm highly offended. Child, what's wrong with you? Have several seats. Brucey says she had an axe in her head and he was shaking her to wake up. Right, exactly, Brucey. Exactly. You see the axe and you're like, oh, Mom! What? King Kamikaze said, the detective has had enough. He did. He has. He's getting tired of him, especially since now knowing that he understands the history between him and his mom. And I guess he was on the initial DCF case that they had. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Luna says, 0 feeling for the mother that adopted him. 0. 0. 0. So him talking about, oh yeah, that we was all right and we fixed it and we had everything together. That's bullshit. Complete bullshit on his part.
So trying, how is this trying?
Because you don't feel like normal people feel.
I don't feel like normal people feel.
Yeah, that's what a sociopath has the issues with.
Okay, so you're calling me a sociopath?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. This is what sociopaths do.
Well, do what?
I've just been sizing you up the whole time. And
okay.
It's like 100%.
Okay, you can size me up.
You don't have normal feelings.
You can size me up all you want. I do have normal feelings. I loved my mom. Ask anybody in this county. They can attest to that.
Do you think that people that love one another don't do the most extreme things to them?
Not like that, no.
It happens all the time, every day.
No.
That's what I just told you earlier, that it's usually like a loved one.
Okay, I would not do that. You ask anybody in this county. My mom and I were amazing. We would never do such a thing like that to each other at all. My mom would never hurt me like that, and I would never hurt her. You call me a sociopath or whatever you want. And I'm sorry for getting upset. But you please ask around. Ask anybody.
We're going to ask everybody.
Ask everybody. They will attest that I would never do that.
Carlos claims that he and his mother would never become physical towards each other, but then the detective points out a violent incident that took place a few years prior. Carlos had attacked his mother, and instead of pressing charges, she told him to move out.
Domestic issues happen all the time.
Okay, well then it happened. It happened.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
we don't need to get into the nitty-gritty of it.
I'm not saying it didn't happen. It did happen.
Right.
She didn't press charges. She just had me move out. And that was it. And then finally I moved back in. We've been fine. Which Stephanie and Damien, the people I was staying with, they got mad at me because I decided to get back with my mom and try to make things work out. And we did. I moved back in.
No. You're lying, sir. That's not what happened. When your mom told you to move out, you started the same fucking bullshit over at those people's house, and they was going to kick your ass out. And you went right back to your mom and said, "Mom, listen, I'm sorry. They don't want me here anymore, and can I come back and stay with you? And I promise I will never do that again. We won't fight like that again," and all the stuff like that. And her actually feeling like she was your mother and not just your adopted mother, what did she do? She let her son back in her house and hoping and trying to believe in what you say, that you're going to get your act together, and you was not going to put your hands on her anymore, and y'all was going to discuss your problems and stuff like that. She trusted you. She trusted you because you were someone that she raised from the age of 4 years old, and she loved you because you were her child. Even though you didn't come from her womb, you were her child, and that's why she let you back in. But now it's starting to paint a picture about you. You are a full problem child. The detective hit it straight on. You are me personally, I believe that he's a psychopath because he's showing more psychopath traits than sociopath. But I do believe the detective, he is full-blown sociopath as well, because he has an ego problem. He has an ego problem. He does not like to be challenged. He is never wrong, right? And he feels that he is above everyone. He is not supposed to be questioned about everything. Anything that he said, it should be taken at face value. And how dare you even question me? How dare you not believe the things that I say? I have an answer for everything. So yes, he is showing a lot of attitude when you are questioning him or you're putting a spotlight on him. That shows the sociopath side about him, because he gets triggered, or his egos get, or when his egos get bruised, he starts to show any kind of emotion. But when it came down to him having no emotions in regards of his mom, and even the state that he found his mom in, that shows the psychopath part of him. Because remember what I have told you, right? Sociopath's personality is their emotions go from a 0 to 100. 1 minute they can be very laid back, and the next minute they are spiraling out of control, crashing all the way to hell out, right? Evil goblin comes out of on their shoulder, right? With a psychopath, their emotions are mundane. It literally is leveled. It stays the same. The way how they feel about weddings is the same way how they feel about deaths. There's no range of emotions with a psychopath. And this is why I said that he is showing both signs of that, because when it came down to death and what happened to his mother, he shows no emotions, no feelings, nothing whatsoever. Even explaining how he found his mother, nothing. But when you start to prick his ego and you start to challenge him, that's when he showed emotion. This young man is a piece of work. And it's sad because that lady didn't have a chance being with this type of person under her house.
But you haven't been back in very long. Can you understand why we see certain things?
Listen, I do understand. I do understand that it's out of nowhere, but please, I know you said you're going to ask everybody. So please ask everybody, because they will tell you I would never do that to my mom.
We're going to ask everybody. We're going to hit every angle, and you're part of the angle.
That's okay. That's okay. And I can firmly tell you I would never do that to my mom.
And listen, we've been doing this. I've been doing it for 25 years.
Yeah.
You've been doing it for almost 20 years. Everybody's instinct first is to lie or come up with a story.
All right. I did not do that to my mom, but she hasn't always been the best mom. But I would never go to that extreme, ever. The domestic thing was me defending myself. She hit me with my key.
There we go. I was waiting for it to come out. Didn't I say it? Didn't I call it from the beginning? I called it from the beginning. What did I say? I said when his narrative was challenged with evidence and what makes sense, then he realized that they're not taking his story, that they're not going to accept it as the truth, that eventually he was going to go to painting the person bad. And I said initially he painted her good because he thought that that story was believable, right? His ego led him to believe that that story was believable. So he had no reason to talk bad about his mom. In fact, he thought if he talks good about his mom, they'd be like, hey, see, look, they had a great loving relationship. He wouldn't do anything like that to her. He had no reason to. She loved her. She was great. She was a good mom. Now that he realized that the detectives are not buying his story, it doesn't make sense. They're questioning him. His ego is being attacked. He's feeling a little triggered because now he's leaning back in his chair instead of leaning upward and straight like how he was before. That is showing me that he's starting to feel the pressure. He's starting to feel the pressure. He's starting to feel caged in now, even though before he didn't feel like he was caged in. Before he felt that he had everything under control and he was the mastermind in that whole office and he had everything figured out and everything was going to go exactly the way that he wanted to. But now that he realized that it's not, now here comes blaming the victim. Here comes, she wasn't the best. I was defending myself. All those cases that happened before was me defending myself. She had a problem. She had a drinking problem. She had a drug problem, blah, blah, blah. I knew it eventually was going to come out because that's literally the last thing outside of them having a mental episode is for them to use, right? That's the next best thing for them to use. I was a victim. Let's go on.
And got me right in the eye with the little hook, and I just shoved her on the ground. But I would never go to this extreme, ever.
Is that a normal thing, or is that just a one-time deal?
No, it's happened quite a few times. It's kind of normal. She's very verbally abusive, and when we go around church, we act all nicey because we usually are. We get over it. I get over it pretty quickly. I try not to think about it. But she was very verbally abusive and sometimes physically. But I would never take it to this extreme. Because no matter how much we fight and how much abuse she did give me, I still loved her very much.
I've heard it that 1,000 times. I still love. That doesn't take away love. One split-second decision of an accident does not take away love.
Well, no, I would not hurt my mom like this, no. The worst I have was when I broke her wrist, and I felt god-awful for that.
And that was an accident?
Correct.
So this is years and years of that,
You broke her wrist?
I would never do this.
There ain't no damn accident.
I mean, I would never imagine hurting my mom like that. Even with through all of it, I couldn't imagine doing that. Because she's the only family I have. I have no one else to turn to.
The detective spends the next 2 hours talking to Carlos. He attempts to appear on the same level as Carlos by admitting that he too was abused as a child. His goal is to connect with Carlos and hopefully get him to admit to killing his mother. At the end of the 2 hours, the detective isn't any closer to a confession than when he started. Carlos was allowed to leave while the investigation continued. A few days later, detectives bring Carlos back to the police department for another interview. During their investigation, they found physical evidence showing Carlos has been lying.
Any other cameras at all? Any cameras inside?
Not that I remember. Not that I remember. My mom said something about having a camera, but I've gone back to the house, and you guys have thoroughly gone through it. When I got back there and saw, I still didn't find any cameras. The only one that I knew was already taken off the property. There's a sign that we had that says surveillance, and we had multiple cameras up at the house, but they all got weathered out and broken. Mm-hmm. So we just left up little lights that look like cameras, and they're all kind of.
So eventually he better go ahead and tell you the truth. The fact that they are talking about the cameras or that you had some form of surveillance at your house, they're letting you know, dude, that the jig is up. The camera's going to show that they only saw you. The camera's going to show that they only saw you and your mom come in the house and you go out of the house. You supposedly left the door open. That's what the camera's going to show. So I don't know. You can make it hard or easy, but it seemed like this one is going to be hard because he's going to, his ego is not going to allow him to just be like, you know what? You're right. It was me. You got me. I don't see that with him. He ain't going without a fight.
Hidden in the trees and stuff, where it's kind of hard to find them. So my mom was always very private with that kind of stuff.
What about cameras in the house?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Sure?
Yes, it is. Those are just whatever my mom did.
What Carlos doesn't know is that investigators searched a lake that was very close to his home, and they found his mother's cell phone, along with 3 cameras, lying at the bottom of the lake.
Okay. And then her phone you've never seen?
No, I haven't seen her phone. I do remember that. I don't remember if I made note of that. I didn't see her phone in her room when I walked in. It's usually right there. It's plain as day. You can see it. All her electronics sit on that one little table.
The axe. Where did the axe come from?
Shed, probably.
Where's everyone only kept it?
It was either inside the garage or in the shed. Pretty sure it was in the shed this time.
All right, we have a dive team, right?
Yeah.
And then we searched the entire lake behind there.
Okay.
Have we found anything out there, you think?
No, sir.
Nothing to know of?
No. Probably old hooks, fishing poles.
Commonly do find lake bottoms.
Yeah.
Anything else you think about find out there? I need you to be completely honest with me, because I'm trying to help you.
Yeah, I definitely understand 100%. Yeah, no.
The detective is handed a box that contains the cameras and the cell phone that divers found at the bottom of the lake.
See, does that look familiar at all to you? I know it's taken apart.
Is that the camera that's hanging up?
That was outside?
Yeah, it's facing towards the...
See, does that look familiar to you?
No, sir.
Remember the small cameras you said were in the house? This camera was on the side of here.
Okay, then yeah, it's one of the ones that are facing towards the window.
Guess how many we found?
How many?
How many do you think we would have found?
One?
No.
If there's only one in the house.
No, you know there's one in the house.
No, sir, I know of one.
And then, guess what else? What else do you think we could have found in the lake that day? I'm just trying to ask you, just to help me out here.
Yeah, I understand, and I don't know.
You don't know what else we could have found out there?
No, I'm going to assume her phone since she's got the camera.
Mm-hmm. Your mom's phone, down by the lake. 3 cameras, down by the lake.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah, he just needs to go ahead and just admit it at this point, because the cameras, apparently there was 2 cameras inside the house, one that was facing the living room, and I guess the other one that was facing towards the garage, and there was one that was outside. He removed all the cameras, and he also took her cell phone. He's a fool because he threw all that in the lake that was real close to her house. So again, if this was supposed to be some complete stranger who didn't have no vendetta against your mother, who decided to whack her in the head with an axe, why would they destroy the surveillance or remove the surveillance cameras and her cell phone, right? And why would they throw it in the nearest lake near the house? If I was in that situation, I would literally take all that with me. And in fact, if I'm going to take her cell phone, I might as well go ahead and take her purse at that point too, right? So it doesn't make sense. The things that he took is specifically to hide evidence. Whoever took those things, they wanted to hide their evidence. Evidence as in maybe she was trying to call 911, right? Or maybe there was a text in there that she was alerting someone that, hey, he can't stay here anymore. There was some reason why he took her phone, right? But the cameras was to pretty much make sure that, they didn't see him. And I think he did that after the deed. I think he took the cameras and her phone after he had already unalived his mom. And now this situation doesn't turn into a second degree or anything like that. No, or manslaughter. No, this is full on first degree murder, because now it gives the illusion that he plotted to unalive his mom. And in fact, that he'd been plotting to unalive his mom probably all day. And he waited until she went to sleep to do it. That's what it shows. That's what it shows. You're cooked. You're steaming cooked, buddy.
This is stacking up.
I understand, but I'm still.
And the only way I can help you is if you come up front and say, we got a fight, it was a total accident, something like that. If that's what happened, then tell me the truth. I need to know that because I can't help you without that.
Right.
Because without that, it's just something horrible got done and you don't care about it.
Well, no, I definitely do care about it. I'm fairly pissed. It's just, it's not.
Because I can only follow the evidence I have.
I understand.
I didn't hit you before pretty much today.
I understand, but I don't, there's nothing that happened to where we got into a fight at all. There was nothing at all. That's the thing. It was a perfectly good day. We were fine, and I don't remember anything bad going on that day. It was all just okay.
Carlos begins to realize if the detectives retrieve the cameras, there is a good chance they also have the footage that was stored on them. Carlos decides to give up a little bit more information.
I don't remember what happened at all from when, like, dogs, from the dogs barking to finding my mom. And once I found my mom, I did panic. I quite, like, really bad, because it's just, mom's there, oh shit, panicked, and just grabbed the one that's facing the front door. I grabbed her phone and I grabbed the thing, the one that was up there. I knew about that one. And then I called 911 either before or after that.
His new story is that he blacked out right before finding his mother's body. Unsure of what he did, Carlos took the cameras and his mother's cell phone and disposed of them in the lake.
What did I tell you? Didn't I say it? Am I right? Am I right? Do I not hit shit on the head every time? I told you that he was going to start talking bad about his mom if that didn't work. And now what happened? Lo and behold, he blacked out. Lo and behold, he went red. Lo and behold, he don't remember what he did, but he remembered that he did take the camera and he did take the phone and he did went 911, but you don't remember that you threw the camera and the phone in the garbage. No, not in the garbage, in the lake. Like, I knew it. I called it, and I called it. I knew that eventually when the heat started going, the temperature started rising, he was going to break. And now the only thing he can say is, yeah, I blacked out, man. Mental episode, yo. I don't even remember what happened. I was seeing red. I couldn't see anything. So if you really had a mental episode where you literally blacked out, you wouldn't even remember what you did after you blacked out. Like, again, I keep on explaining people, when people see red or when they quote unquote having a blackout moment, this is not something that just happens within 5 minutes when the deed was done and then you go back to being normal. No, that's not how that happened. That type of mental episode is something is acute, right? It's like a nervous, a chemical imbalance or a nervous imbalance that's acute. It happens fast, but it doesn't go away fast, right? It really doesn't. Usually you'll be in that trance for hours, pretty much, right? To the point where you could be like sleepwalking, right? But that's not the case. With him, he's saying he don't know what happened from when he woke up, from when the dogs barked, from when he been downstairs, see his mom in that state. He don't know none of that. He don't remember anything about that. And now all of a sudden he doesn't remember that he did whatever to his mom. But now you remember that you did take the camera from outside of the door and then you did take her cell phone. This dude, man. I knew it was coming. It was about to come. It has to, because this always plays out in that way. It had to come this way. Brucey said, you should write books, MJ, Murder, She Wrote. I used to write books. Maybe I should start going back to writing books again. I did write books. I used to enjoy it. It could be hours lost. Right, exactly, Brucey. Like, literally a whole day can go by and then you wake up and like, what do you mean? I didn't even know I went to sleep or anything. You know what I'm saying? That's where I really seen those type of mental breaks or mental episodes. But these people who literally who'd be talking about, yeah, it was only 15 minutes. Man, please. Selective amnesia. Yes, selective. Very selective. Selective to the things that they want to not have no memory of, right? Whew.
The throne. I didn't know. Honestly, truthfully, I didn't know if something did happen. I do sleepwalk sometimes. And then everything else, it's like I didn't know what happened because I woke up in my room. I woke up in my room, just woke up. And it was like, okay, hear dogs barking, blah, blah, blah. Doors closed, slightly cracked open, front door, blah, blah, blah. It's just things that I didn't think were completely out of the ordinary. My mom's done them before. Right. And other than that, I honestly 100% do not remember either what happened or not.
Because what do you think most people would do when they find somebody that happened to?
911 immediately.
Yeah. Do you think throwing out cameras and cell phones first thing they think of?
No,
Why would they do that?
I don't know why I did.
You know why somebody would throw cameras and a cell phone?
Well, of course to hide. To hide it, but I completely panicked. What happened between me and my mom when I threw her down on the ground, and I also didn't exactly remember that either. It was kind of like it happened. It was just boom, it happened, and all of a sudden my mom was getting up off the ground. I'm like, oh, okay, shit.
So you don't remember who you did it?
No, I don't. I don't remember anything from waking up to the dogs barking and then checking out everything, and then from when I panicked and found her.
And you sure you want an argument?
No, whatsoever. I don't remember any single argument.
You see what it looks like, though, right?
Yes, I do understand. Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to help you out here.
I know, I understand, and that was the biggest thing that's been weighing on my chest was that I did panic and I threw out the cameras and the phone.
Do you realize that doesn't make any sense for anybody to do that's totally innocent?
Yes, I do understand. So that's what's been bothering me the past 2 months, and I don't.
Oh, he a piece of shit. So here's my question. Why would you panic? Because this is what he's saying. He's saying that he panicked, and that's when he grabbed her phone and he grabbed the cameras outside of the house, inside of the house, and he threw it in the lake. If you're innocent and you didn't do anything to harm your mom, your first thing wouldn't be, let me go grab the phone and the cameras and throw it in the lake. You should be trying to render aid to your mom, right? Then you should also be trying to be concerned that maybe the killer is still in your house and that you might have to defend yourself, right? And then you would be on the phone to call 911, but you took your mom's cell phone. So I'm thinking that you didn't go downstairs with your cell phone, right? Because you don't even remember that. You said you just woke up in your room. You didn't remember nothing. You woke up in your room. Then you heard the dogs barking. Now, because this is like the third time your story has changed within a couple of days of them initially interviewing you. Now, all of a sudden, is you panicked. Now, you only panicked because you knew that you would be found on those cameras. And you got rid of the evidence so they wouldn't find it. That's all. That's it. And it's crazy because you want people to believe that you had this form of mental episode or you caught amnesia and all the stuff like that, and you didn't remember anything else. But then when you saw her, you was like, oh shit, the first thing they're going to do is believe it's me because I have a DCF report where I broke my mom's wrist and I fought her and I pushed her down to the ground a couple of years ago. Let me go and get all this evidence and throw it in the lake because I know I didn't do it, but I don't need them to be looking for anything to think that I did it.
No, I don't remember. Right, and I keep saying I don't remember what happened between from then to then. I just don't remember that happening, anything happening at all. The thing is, here's the thing. I want to know. I want to know because I want to know if that I blacked out and did this, and then.
So I need your help.
I want to know. I don't remember. I don't remember from being in the garage to then. It's nothing.
He cooking.
I appreciate the way
He cooking.
Ramos came at it. I didn't like the other detective, to be honest with you, the one that was with you the first day. He was calling me a psychopath and a sociopath that I don't feel anything. I didn't
But you
appreciate
are a
that at all, him
psychopath
making
and a
those assumptions before
sociopath.
anything was even.
And the crazy thing, remember the first interview? I know I didn't do it, and I'm offended that you even assuming that I did it. Now, 2 days later, you know, I blacked out and I was scared and I panicked and I just took the cameras and I took the phone and I threw it in the lake, but I really blacked out. I really don't know what happened prior to that, of me waking up and then hearing the dogs and then seeing my mother in that state. But I panicked. I panicked because of the old DCF case, and I was afraid that everybody was going to blame that it was me. And then now is, well, now I'm concerned because I want to know whether or not, if I did this when I blacked out, when I saw red and I was having a mental episode, could I have actually done this to my mom? We need to figure this out together, detectives. I am not a threat or a danger to society or my community. No, 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 no. I am just a kid who needs help and mental therapy. I think I need to go get checked out medically, you know? Yeah, he's laying it on thick now. He's laying it on thick, 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 thick. Oh, so who wants to know what the corner boys are? Okay, so the corner boys, I have corner boys and corner girls, okay? Anybody can be a corner boy and corner girl if you want to join the membership, the corner the corner crew, the corner community crew, you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it. That's for corner boys and corner girls, but my corner boys are my special boys, you know what I'm saying? You know, I got my Brucey who do the Mr. Delilah. I got my other ones that be like, yo, we cooking and we working, but I'm listening and tuning in. And my corner girls are my ladies who are multitasking. Okay, they're taking care of their families as well, tuning in, listening to me. Those are my corner people. But really, the name corner came from the fact that I always used to put Brucey in the corner because he would always say, you see these damn women, MJ, you see these Delilahs out here? And I'm like, Brucey, go in the corner. So every single time I used to go in the corner and put him on time out, it just kind of stuck. So that's why everybody just became of the corner community, okay? That's what it was. That's what it was. Hey, sweetheart. See, like I said, you know, corner girls come back when they have to. You know, they come in there. They come in when they come in there. Yeah, Brucey. Yeah. Yeah, Brucey. See, there go Miss J, our chat lawyer. Corner girls. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yes, exactly, Miss J. Exactly. Exactly. And Brucey says, I am the prince of getting out of the corner. You are. You are. You are. You are the prince of getting out of the corner. Yep. Yep. You are. You are. And I forgot who's second to that. Who else I be putting in the corner? I forgot. I put you and somebody else in the corner all the time. And Miss J is the princess of the corner. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. All right, guys, let's go ahead and finish this up. We see that he's done for. He's cooked. They have all the evidence they need. And now his new narrative is that he had a mental breakdown, or he had a mental episode, something that he has never had before. He never dealt with amnesia or sleepwalking before, but now apparently he has it. And he's more concerned now on whether or not did he black out and do this to his mom.
Yeah. Done. I appreciate the way you guys went through everything.
From a legal standpoint, saying I don't remember can be very strategic. It avoids direct self-incrimination while remaining difficult to disprove. It can also minimize perceived intent, which is a key factor in many homicide cases. In court, jurors often view outright denials as suspicious if later contradicted by evidence, whereas claims of memory loss can make a defendant appear more human and psychologically believable.
I said that was 2 nights prior, but like I said, I'm trying to help you try to remember because that would help me with the case. Because if you temper-flare or something like that, I can work with that. But I need to have something to work with, because if not, it just looks like you did something out of pure hatred versus something.
No.
That's where I need help.
Well, I don't remember, and that's the thing. Like, I knew that when you guys were interrogating everybody, you would see the flares and the temper things. But at the same time, that my mom and I had a special bond. It was never gonna break. And that's what I was hoping would stick, because I don't remember what happened from then to then. Yeah, so.
That's what, like I said, there's no other person could do it but you.
Right.
And that's where I'm at. I'm trying to figure out why.
I'm also trying to figure it out too, like thinking back from when I came home. And it's pretty much, I'm so disappointed in you, which I've heard that before. Okay, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, you being a fucking loser. And that's when it's like, okay, chill out. No, she kept going, kept going, kept going, kept going.
Despite claiming he did not remember, Carlos was found guilty of first-degree murder, and he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. What are your thoughts on this case? Please share them in the comments below.
Well, Carlos got exactly what he deserved, life in prison. And he really tried to play it off that he didn't know. Like I said, I knew he was going to use those two tropes, right? He was either going to pretty much bad mouth the victim, because that's what they normally do. Bad mouth the victim, say that horrible, say mean things. They did this, they did that. And if that doesn't stick, I must have been going through some type of mental episode, because I would have never have done that, whether or not if I was under the influence or if I was having a mental breakdown, right? And then the funny thing, what he just said that was kind of crazy before they told us what his verdict was going to be, is he said that he remembered that him and his mom had a conversation prior, saying that she was like, oh, you ain't shit, you being such a loser, whatever not. But didn't you say, or didn't you mention in the beginning of both of your interviews that you and her had a great day and y'all had no problems, y'all had no arguments or anything whatsoever? But now all of a sudden you remember that y'all did argue and that she did say something, I guess, disrespectful to you. You're a liar, dude. You're a liar. You just really, you really meant to hurt your mom, and you meant to hurt her in that way. And like I said, doing that to your mom, you pretty much, you loathed that woman. You didn't love that woman. You hated that woman. You despised that woman. And it shows. So serve you right. And prayers to that lady and her other family. I don't know if she has any other kids. I don't think she did. I think that was her only child, the Carlos, her adopted child. But prayers to that woman and their family. That was a horrible way to go, and it's horrible because you really try to love someone, you try to do something, but this young man, he's just not right. He's not right in the head, and I don't think it was nothing that she can do possibly to actually save him. He was just not right in the head at the end of the day. At the end of the day. All right, so guys, those were the 3 cases that we have today. Like I said, I apologize for the screen was not working before, and I don't know why, because I refreshed, I rebooted, and it was supposed to work fine, and it didn't. I think I'm going to have to just go back to just going portrait, and to leave the both portrait and the landscape alone, unless I go ahead and decide to use like probably StreamYard. I'll decide. I'll decide if I want to change to StreamYard or if I want to go back to Zoom. But if I want to use both landscape and portrait, I don't think that this is the best system for it, since I'm having too much problem with it. But I truly, truly appreciate every single one of you. Go ahead and rest. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Prepare for the week that's coming up. We have to prepare because we're going to start to have a storm again. I don't understand why, like, the winter has their grip on us and they're not trying to let us go. It's holding on for dear life. Like, nah. But it is what it is, all right? I will notify you guys the next time that I go live. Like I said, my time is scarce, but I am trying to put out as much content as possible. If I cannot actually go live, I will be putting out clips from from some of the shows that we have had. And as always, I truly appreciate every single last one of you who was here to ride out with me today. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you decided to rock out with your girl, Conversation with MJ. And again, any cases that you want to review, put it down in the comment section, all right? And I will talk to you later, good folks. I will talk to you later. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.